Welcome everybody to our latest session of the Restoration of Cariele. If memory serves, I believe we're at session 18 at this point. As usual, do a quick recap of what occurred last week, and then we will get underway. So team, you'll likely recall when we picked up last week, you guys were in the sewers underneath Cerilia, the capital city of Cariele. You guys had already spent a little bit of time here in the sewers, having fought some creatures that you couldn't really identify exactly what they were. They were these sort of amorphous, purplish fleshed blobs almost that could kind of change their shape quite easily. And you guys had suffered some wounds, so when we picked up last week, you were deciding how to proceed, having just finished a battle against these creatures. Eventually, you heard the sound of the rat folks that you're trying to assist get all excited and start screeching and squealing. So you made your way back to them, and it turned out that Celine had followed you after getting some instructions from Lord Michael, and the group reunited with Celine, and then Celine, thanks to her comprehend languages spell, was able to speak with the rat folk much more easily, and essentially, got more information from their leader, who explained that his son had gone missing, and he had already charged the rest of the group to find his son and bring him back safely. He also mentioned these creatures that the team had tried to describe but couldn't really understand him because his common is really, really bad. He had mentioned that the rat folk had spotted this large purplish blob kind of fall from up high, smash down into a bunch of different pieces, and each of the pieces seemed to sort of move around. And the rat folk were really shocked and surprised by this, so they tried to get away as best they could. They kind of scattered. And that's when they sent word, knowing that Lord Michael was in the capital, sent word to him for assistance. And of course, he sent your team here to aid the rat folk. So when we first started, you guys again talked with the rat folk a bit. And then after consulting with them, decided to make your way kind of back north a bit. While there, Vin spotted some movement up to the northeast. Couldn't really make it out as it was beyond the range of his vision. But he asked Tavard to kind of get a little bit closer. Tavard looked with his dark vision, didn't really see much there. But I think based on this appearance, this sound, and this movement that was saw, the team decided to kind of follow up that direction. Team kind of looped around, and we're in very narrow quarters here with just a 5-foot ledge between the wall and the sewer water. And as they were here, they saw a rat, a normal-sized rat, fall into the bridge as though it was thrown there or dropped. And it was twitching and seizuring there on the bridge. And we had Serena make her way around and slice this rat in half and then kind of scoop it into the water. As she did that, however, she noticed some movement again in the little alcove east of the bridge. And we found ourselves in a battle against more of these purple fleshy creatures that the team isn't quite sure what they are. The purple fleshy creatures, of course, could stick to the walls, to the ceiling, so it was very easy for them to traverse this terrain. Not so easy for our player characters, so they found themselves in a very dangerous spot where mobility was very limited, and they were struggling to get optimal footing. The creatures attacked, and at one point in time had Serena surrounded, and it looked like it was going to be curtains for her. But luckily, Dian used his flaming lion to fiery teleport her away. And then Tavard sort of dragged her a ways back, and the team continued fighting these creatures, sort of like a fighting withdrawal in a sense, as the team was trying to loop around. Eventually, through the team's combined efforts, they were able to destroy these creatures, even after 4 of them combined to make a larger version of these creatures. And the team was able to defeat all of them, and then backtracked a bit and decided to get a bit of a short rest. They conferred with the rat folk, essentially letting them know, yeah, we understand time is important, but we need to recover our wounds, otherwise we won't be able to survive the dangers here if they run into more of those opponents. The rat folk leader seemed to understand this, a little bit disappointed perhaps because he knows time is of the essence, but not so much that he's going to try to urge the team on when they look very badly hurt. So the team made their way into this small alcove area that the rat folk pointed out just across from where they were, and they attempted to take a short rest here. Unfortunately, fate wasn't with our team, as the red card had been drawn that negates the benefits of a short rest. So with that applied, an hour having passed, the team decided not to risk resting another hour for fear that the additional time might spell the end of the rat folk leader's son. And so they decided to use some magic to heal up the team and then push on from there. So while a bit more healed, they're still a bit depleted in resources as far as spell slots and things go, as the team made their way up, sort of following the same path. This time, however, they spoke with the leader of the rat folk and got the leader there to essentially lead the way as to where he believed his son should be, knowing where he typically plays in the sewers. So the rat folk leader made his way to the north with the team following. As he came through, spotted the corpses of the creatures that you had defeated. That seemed to give him a little bit more confidence. He continued following to the north, and eventually, as the sewer starts to bend, he got kind of quiet and was trying to move quietly. He pointed out the bridge that he had mentioned previously. And as a reminder, early on in the sewers, when Celine was speaking with these the rat folks with the benefits of comprehend language, the rat folk leader had explained that there is a very large creature that dwells in this area, and that as long as you don't attack it or mess with its eggs, that it generally will leave you alone. And this assumption is from, I would say, the team probably understands this to be how the rat folk interact with this creature. Obviously, they're not like just walking through its area and having a dance party there. But as long as you stay at a distance and don't provoke it, it seemed like that's how they're coexisting, you could say. So with this information, the team kind of started making their way around, and the team was able to spot this very large creature in a wide open basin area. It was sort of clinging to the ceiling. Team decided to use some magic to turn Tavern invisible, and he kind of made his way up, and he then tried to leap across about a 10, 12-ish foot area between one side of the sewers and the other side, because he spotted the bridge there and he didn't like how it looked as far as its structural capabilities. As he jumped across, hoping to be quiet, but being a dwarf and pretty dense, unable to land silently, and this landing on the other side was heard by this massive creature, who sort of moved pretty quickly to try to investigate the sound. As it did so, we found ourselves in initiative. The team was kind of jockeying for position a little bit. Blixel, however, decided to cast a vicious mockery, I think it was, at the creature and tried to wound it or get its attention maybe, so it wasn't able to snatch up Tavern if it was somehow able to see him or detect him there. And this caused the creature to just launch forward as quickly as it could into the much narrower tunnel and go after the rest of the group. So our group found themselves in combat with this enormous carrion crawler, and it had a pretty deadly attack that the team quickly found out, known as the Tentacle Flurry, where it attacked 8 times with its different tentacles. This was the two characters that bore the brunt of this attack were Vin and Serena. Both of them found themselves paralyzed. Luckily, the other team members were still hitting the carrion crawler from a distance, so then it turned to try to go after them. And fate was on Serena and Vin's side as they managed to succeed on their saves after a round and then basically back into this narrow alcove before the creature could make its way back to them. The rest of the party also got into really tight areas where the massive carrion crawler wasn't able to access, and so it kind of skirted about in the area, unable to reach anybody. While in that northern alcove, Vin was able to travel the short distance and find that it opened up into a small chamber. There was a set of stairs here that seemed to lead back up towards the surface, and most importantly, spotted the rat folk's son underneath the stairs there. So having located the rat folk leader's son, this was obviously the goal of this whole adventure, this down being in the sewers here. So that was a win for our team. During this time, Tavern was still invisible, and he made his way over and across the various bridges and actually located another small group of rat folk. And they weren't able to see him, but he tried to ask, where is the son of the rat folks leader? They tried to communicate to him, but again, the rat folks speak really bad and very fast and high-pitched common, which is quite difficult for most people to understand. And so I'm not sure how well Tavern was able to fill that in or understand what was going on there, but eventually he made his way south and away from the dangers of the carrion crawler. He had also spent a bit of time in the basin's water itself, kind of swimming around, and spotted this big pile of flotsam that was underneath the carrion crawler. Think of this as almost like a small garbage island of all this collected debris and things. And as he made his way over there is when the massive carrion crawler was realizing it had no other targets to attack, so sort of returning to its original position. Tavern then decided to beat a quick retreat out of there and head to the south. So where we ended, the team is actually a bit split up at the moment, but the intention is to, I believe, head back up to the surface and try to reunite there. So yeah, that is where we left off, team. That's my quick recap. Is there anything anybody would like to add? All right, hearing nothing anybody would like to add, we will go ahead and kick out cards and then get started. Okay, so everybody should have a card now. Take a moment to read through your card. Make sure you understand how it works. And yeah, let's go ahead and get you guys back on the map. All right, team. So we are quite a bit split up at the moment. Oh, okay. Thanks for that message. One moment.
When he does hear us, we need to tell him that we all said something for inspiration and he missed it.
Yeah,
I heard that part right there.
and he believed it. That's the funny part.
Well, that was weird because I could hear you guys originally and then I couldn't hear you all of a sudden. So that's very odd.
It's like it dropped off about halfway through you going through.
Yeah,
but none of us
maybe.
had anything for inspiration though, so no worse.
Okay. All right. Well, then that gets us right back to where we left off, which is, yeah, you guys are a bit split up at the moment. But yeah, this is where you find yourselves.
I'm going to because we're in
Leave
front
with
of
my life.
Yeah, Serena and I are in this little area with Stuart Little and this unknown staircase.
I definitely am going up it.
I will, before she heads up, I will reach into my pocket and find those 2 good berries that Dean gave me. And I'll give one to her, and then I'll give one to the little rat guy.
Oh, thanks.
Adam, we free to move and everything, right?
You are, yes.
I'm
I've
gonna be.
also, just as a quick FYI, I'm noticing that the tokens that are on the right side of the map all the time are suddenly gone. So this happened last week too. I'm not sure why, like things were just missing. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy and paste those over real quick, but that's why you guys don't see that right-hand side.
Blixel.
Hey, what's up?
I don't hear any more fighting. They might have gone out a different way.
I hope so. Should we try to meet them closer to where we came in?
Yeah. Number 1 rule of survival is go back to your last seen them. And I don't want to go back to where that creature was, so let's go back to our entrance. We know the way. It
Okay.
wasn't who was with us? Was it? Oh, it was just the 2 of us.
Celine just kept going, so I think we got to catch up to her.
Hey Adam, I'm jumping this in case you see my token at all.
Yep, gotcha.
Yeah. Tavar.
Hey.
You're all right. Wait, we don't see you, right? You're still invisible.
I'm invisible. I don't know how to turn this damn thing off.
Oh, you're here. I mean, I can turn it off if you want.
Oh, Celine.
Aileen is suspiciously quiet at the moment.
Oh, I'm here. I'm sorry.
Oh, there she is. Yeah.
Well,
can we? Where's the leader of? Excuse me, rat folk. Who's the leader again? Is there someone I could
What's his
talk
name?
to in management up there?
All right, as you ask to speak to the manager, yeah, you see the rat folk comes around. He looks quite nervous. This is the same individual that you have spotted before who actually guided you up to the north. As he comes around the corner, you see he looks at you. Oh, yeah, right.
Oh, okay, all right. So, small words. We found your son.
He looks as, oh, wait.
Well, he's with other friends. Safe. He's safe.
And I'm going to ask a really strange question. How do you know this, Dean?
Oh, well, maybe I don't.
They,
I don't think you do.
They did
No, I
yell.
don't.
They
I
did
don't.
yell out that they found him. They yelled
Yeah, but Adam
that
said
out
we
when
were
they
too
got.
far away to hear.
Roll for
Right.
deception.
Yeah, I'm flat out just like calming the situation down for sure. Even if well, I guess we didn't hear him. So yeah, Tavard knows.
No,
But
I don't think
does he?
Tavard knows either.
Tavard might. I think when I was watching the session last time, he was still within vision range when Vin and Serena went down the hallway. So I think he knows that they got away from the bug, but I certainly don't think he saw them catch the child.
No, they were up on the other staircase area, whatever.
Okay, then yeah, I guess I don't
I
know
think
that.
they're all dead, and I think we should just leave them.
Okay, so I guess I don't know. So I'll say, is there another exit back there? Where does it go?
Oh, another exit? Yeah, north fire, go, up.
Yes, it goes up. Is it easy to find if we go up and I point behind me this way to go up to that exit?
No, not easy. I'm going to be big cities, everything.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm sure they'll come this way. So, I'm sure everything's fine. We're just gonna wait around for our friends, and they'll bring your son. Absolutely.
You see he steps to here and looks to the north nervously, you assume, wondering if the giant carrion crawler's following, but he peers that direction and looks back at you and seems a bit nervous, but not much he can do about it.
Blixel, not being sure that everything is fine, actually, is going to sort of hurriedly go towards where we came down into the sewers to see if they managed to find a way back there.
That's a good idea. I could use some fresh air anyway.
And Tavard will yell, "Hey folks, I know you can't see me, but
Oh,
the area to the west side of that giant creature, there's another group there, and of rat folks, and I didn't see the child."
what?
You see he's just nodding very, very quickly. You get the impression he's a bit happy as he's nodding.
Why are you happy?
Oh, Severe, more, come to a rejoin group, finally.
Yeah, that's what I would have said too if I knew what. Yeah.
All right, which way do we go to get back to the start?
This way.
It's where Dian is. That staircase over there.
I can, when in doubt, follow your nose.
Well, I'm all stuffed up, bro. I can't smell anything, so.
That's right. So we'll head up to the top, Adam, and kind of look around as for our friends.
All right, as you guys exit the sewers here and follow the successive stairs and ladders up to get out of the sewers and to the surface, we will go ahead and flip over to Serena and Vin, who found themselves quite injured near the back of the sewers, and they have the leader's son in hand. I believe literally in hand, as Serena has grappled him.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I gave them both one of Dean's good berries, and I look at Serena and I say, I think you'll have a couple more. Didn't Dean give you a few?
Did he?
I'm quite confident he gave us all a couple. Check your pockets.
Yeah, I apparently should write that down in the future.
Uh-oh. Not on the sheet. You don't have it. You know that old rule.
I have golden antlers.
That we know you
Well,
have.
well, maybe you eat his too. Here, and I take an apple out instead and hand it to the little kid rat, and I'm gonna take my cloak off and kind of put it over the rat and Serena's shoulder, and say, I think our best bet is to probably go around, come back down in the front, but it's probably not safe to walk around with the little mouse. So, you stay covered, little guy, and we'll get you back to your pops.
He can't really respond because as soon as you handed him the apple, he already started eating it. And you see the way he's eating it, you get this impression of just like a rapid eater, where it's almost like he takes like a corn on the cob and like he's doing it, like eating it that fast.
So I just kind of smile and then I tuck my cloak around him and say, all right, Serena, well, let me go first, okay?
Sure.
And I'll make my way up to that trap door, Adam, and or I don't know, is it just a door or is it like an above hatch?
It's a trapdoor, yeah. So hatch on the ceiling.
Okay, so I'll kind of I'm gonna do like a gentle open and have my eyes kind of poke out and kind of look around to make sure we're not in any kind of precarious area.
Give me a blind check as you try to do a gentle open here, Vin.
Perfect. Here we go.
Okay, you do a gentle open, and as you do, peering through the opening, do you currently have a torch or something of light?
I am lit up, so
Okay.
if that would have gone away, I wouldn't have been able to see, so I would have done a torch either way.
Okay, so you're admitting light of some kind. So as you open this and then light kind of fills the room, you notice that there is a man standing with his back to you. But as the light suddenly hits the ground, he turns and he looks down at you and he says, "Oh, oh my, sewer people?"
Not sewer people. We came down here to work, got separated. I'm glad to see that this is a way out. We were walking around for hours, and I'm just gonna kind of like nonchalantly push myself up and kind of give a hand back to Serena to wait just a second. And
He steps back a bit as you do this. You notice that he's dressed in these sort of green clothing with like a red cape off of his back. He looks fairly young, like maybe mid 20s or early, something like that. But you see, he puts a hand to his chin while the other's at his waist, and he's just sort of observing as you guys are exiting. So, as both you and Serena make it to the surface, I assume you're pulling Skigdock up as well.
no, I told Serena to wait while I came up by myself, just to see if I could maybe get them to move along before seeing Serena and the skit dock.
Okay, so you're trying to just go up yourself, and then are you closing the trapdoor behind you, leaving it open?
No, it's open for now. But like I'm still a little bloody, and I'll look at him and say, you know, there's like monsters down there, right?
You don't say. What kind of monsters exactly? And you see he pulls out this small piece of parchment from his side, like a satchel area, and he starts unfurling it, and then he looks to you and raises an eyebrow.
Well, there was two kinds. Um, my friends and I, we got into a fight with these fleshy creatures. It looked like I don't even know how to explain it, but if you chewed up steak and spit it out and then it attacked you, but massive. Yeah?
Oh
They would
my, this is most fortuitous. Okay, how many of them did you kill?
8 maybe? Maybe 10?
8, maybe 10 sewers. Got to think about the
Eh,
amount of
20.
density of. Oh, is there somebody with you? And you see he looks over
Oh,
towards the trapdoor.
yeah, like I said, we got separated from our friends. There's 2 more of us behind here. Um, and then we were just going to wrap around and see if we could find them. Whew.
Okay, well, I really appreciate all of this information. You see, well, this is quite strange. I'm an apprentice, and I work for, I guess I could call him Old Mister. Yeah, I work for Old Mister, and you see, he always tells me, be really careful, Brayson. Don't drop that, Brayson. Watch your hands, Brayson. He thinks I'm kind of like clumsy and stuff, but it's usually not a problem. But in this case, well, you see, I accidentally dropped these two vials together, and they started having a really crazy reaction. I'm talking like poof and pshoo and poof and like all this weird stuff. And I realized this was not good news. So I just kind of shoved it down the drain real quick. And then when he came back, he's like, well, where did those go? And I kind of told him, and he said, you fool. And well, long story short, my bad. I think those creatures that you fought were my fault.
I'm just gonna kind of smile and like reach my hand behind my head and scratch it as Serena, bloody and bruised, pulls herself up behind her. And I say, oh, well, none of us died, so no harm, no foul. And if you need me to confirm this story to old Mister for you, I'd be happy to. Brayson, is that your name?
Yes, Brayson Gibbs. And you see he extends a hand.
And I'll extend mine and I'll say, my name is Vinny. You can just call me Vinny.
Vinny, oh, well, it's quite a pleasure to meet you, Vinny. And he shakes your hand with a little bit of enthusiasm here. Well, it is so glad to hear that old Mister said that I should come down here and see if they survived. And, well, clearly they survived if you fought them all. And, well, I got to hope that's all of them, because he said it's, like, really easy for them to, like, kind of keep replicating is what he said. But hopefully you got them all. And yeah, why don't you come by the shop? I'll let old Mister know that you're the ones who took care of them. I'm sure he'd give you some kind of I don't know, a little prize or reward or something, because wow.
All right. Well, sorry. The smell from down there to up here is crazy different. Um, what's the shop's name? After we meet up with our friends, we'll stop by.
No, don't think this is too strange. I know the name's going to sound strange, but you can find the shop. It's called Old Mister's Candle Shop, right? Old Mister's Candle Shop. But it's not just candles. It's kind of like a play on words. So just come on by. Let me kind of explain to you where it is. And he gives you these sort of bare bones instructions of where to find this in the city of Cariele.
In return, I ask if he can point us in the direction of the market where the entrance was to the sewers that we came in.
Oh yeah, I can take you up to the market square. Follow me. Come on.
Sure. And then I'll help Serena and Skikdoc come out of the trap door, and I'll shut it and kind of like give it a tap. And in my head, I'm just going to like have this moment of contemplation and just say, "That thing was massive. It almost killed us, Serena." And I turn and look at her. Are you okay?
I will be. Serena does not take a hand off of the little rat.
Okay, so you're guiding him by the shoulder while the cloak is still over him, so he can't see real well. So yeah, he kind of needs your help to move about.
Yeah. Hopefully he looks just kind of like a toddler or small child or something that we're escorting back, so no crazy eyes going on. But then we'll follow Brayson back. I guess if it's still light outside, I'll snuff my torch before we go.
All right, you guys make your way to the surface, finding yourself back in the city proper. And yeah, Brayson, it seems like he has at least a fair understanding of the layabout of the city, and he is able to guide you back to the market square with ease. It only takes you maybe 2 minutes of walking to get back to the market square. And as you are, he points out, and he goes, well, there you are. And like I say, don't forget, old Mister's Candle Shop. Just come on by just whenever you got a moment.
Sure, Brayson. And I'll reach out my hand to shake it again, and I'll kind of whisper, "Hey, do I smell really bad?"
And you see he looks at you and says, well, I didn't want to say anything, but woo, boy.
Okay, all right. A shower it is. Maybe we'll come by in the morning.
He nods. Yeah, okay, that would be great.
Okay. Thanks, Brayson. And let's try not mixing anything too crazy again, even on accident, you know?
You see he looks at you. Oh, trust me, I learned my lesson this time. It's always like look twice and then move your hands. Sometimes these things just get in the way. And you see he starts looking at his hands.
And I smile and I turn around and like walk with Serena back towards where the sewage entrances.
All right, and other team, as you guys have made your way up to the surface as well, I'm assuming
Oh, I
you
don't know
guys.
if we did. We want to go all the way to the surface, or did we want to just like wait at the
Yeah.
landing?
I did say that we'd go to the top and we'd meet them up top to get some fresh air.
Okay.
So as you guys get to the surface and sort of exit there, you'll remember the sewer gate here is really not guarded because, again, no one really wants to go into the sewers. So you exit here. You're not very far from the market square, so you kind of look about. You're trying to guess where this other exit from the sewers that Nekzik told you about might be. You kind of look around for a couple of minutes maybe, but eventually find your way towards the market square. And as you're getting closer to the market square, I would say you probably notice
Oh,
Vin.
wait. I think that's where there's confusion. I think maybe Celine's right. I was just going to wait at the gate to the sewer because that's like
that.
my rule of survival.
Okay, fair enough. So you wait
Sorry.
at the sewer gate then, and then it's probably a little bit longer, maybe 10 minutes, before I believe Vin said you eventually want to loop back around to that entrance, right?
Yeah, yep.
Okay, so probably 10 minutes later then, as you're kind of waiting there, tapping your foot, wondering what's going on, you do notice Vin, Serena, and some kind of covered little figure being walking down the city streets towards the sewer gate.
Oh, I thought you were dead.
We almost were.
Looks a little uninvisible to Bard.
Oof,
I-
that was pretty cool. It didn't even hurt.
Did
I
you
almost-
do it right when he's picking his nose? That'd be the funniest thing.
It's gonna hurt in like 24 hours. Just fair warning.
Oh,
It's time release.
All right, I'm getting this thing back down in the sewers because I almost died because of it.
All right, let's go.
Did you find him?
We found him, and as we push him kind of in front of everybody towards the entrance to the sewer, I'll take my cloak back and I'll get down on my knee and I'll smile and I'll pull out one of my apples. I've got 2 left now, and I'll hand it back to him and say, "We're going to go back to your father now. Will you ride on my back and I'll carry you down?"
You see he has grabbed this apple, and as he's chewing here, hey, Green's already got two. Oh, yeah, sure. And he just kind of climbs up onto your back and puts an elbow onto your shoulder. As no.
And then I'll just start to descend down into the sewers.
He's gonna get fleas for sure.
All right, you make your way back down to the sewers.
Right. So I'll get to like maybe like here, and then I'll say Noxzik, and I'll put him down in front of me. Noxzik.
And you notice Naxit coming on around, and as he looks in your direction, he seems really surprised, and he moves really quickly over towards his son. And you see his son looking at him and doesn't really look concerned at all. And you see Naxik shaking his head, and they start communicating in the rat folk language. And it seems a lot of squeaks and squeals and stuff going back and forth. You can't really make out what it is, but it's hard not to at least pick up a little bit here, which certainly seems like a dressing down of like a parent to a kid, like, hey, stay out of trouble, you know. And you notice Skigdock here, like still eating the apple and just kind of nodding at his dad the whole time. And once he's finally done with it, you see he looks at it and then offers it to his dad. And his dad just like shakes his head, takes it, and looks back towards you guys. Oh, that's so fun you found it. It's safe. I can't believe. Yeah, it's take, little Michael, take.
Yes, Noxzik. He was under the staircase to the north. He doesn't seem injured at all. Is there anything else we can help you with?
He shakes his head. No. Oh, good. No more monster. Hopefully down here everything is clear. We get to good, fine, good.
Do you have maybe a letter or anything that you would like to send back to Michael? And thanks for sending us, or anything similar.
You see, he like cocks his head towards letter. What letter?
Do you want to write one to say thank you before we leave?
You see, he looks over to Skigdock, and Skigdock looks to him, and then you see they speak in rat folk language once again. And you see Naxik looks back to you. No.
They probably don't do that kind of stuff. They're more of a talkie. talky type of people, right?
Well, we have the letter that they wrote to Michael.
I'm sure. We just tell them we did it. It's fine.
I was just curious if that was part of their correspondence or anything. But either way, Noxic, I hope we made friends with you today, and we'll come back and visit.
You see, he nods. Yes, yes, yes. Come back anytime. Come back.
I lean back down one more time, and I kind of pat Skikdoc on the head, and I pull out my final apple, and I look at him and say, "Last one.
You see
Listen to your dad."
his eyes get wide as he looks at it, and you see his tongue actually does as he's looking at it.
And before he can grab it, I pull it back close to me, and I look at him again, and I say, "All right, listen to your dad." And I hand it to him, and then stand up and turn back around to leave.
He nods a bunch of times as he takes the apple from you, and then he looks back at his dad, and then once again you hear the rat folk language, and he kind of drops his head a little bit as the two of them start walking to the north. And you notice Skigdoc looking at the apple, and he just keeps looking at it. It's like he can't take his eyes off of it as his father leads him to the north.
Should we ask Noxic how he feels about the management of the town?
Maybe another conversation for another day. But losing his son someplace like this, he must have been nervous.
I get the feeling that the rat folk aren't really on the inside here in the town. They have access, but, they're living on the fringes.
But they may be good allies for us either way.
Oh, for sure. Imagine. You have access to everyone's toilets.
Well, I'm almost dead. So, I'd love to get a shower, a beer, and a nap. Shall we go back to Hog's Head?
Yes.
Just before we go, I do have to say, I wanted to say this last time, but circumstances prevented me from doing so. You all should know that Miele's kind of onto us. I was privy to a conversation between her and Michael, and her people are looking for us. So maybe we don't do anything too crazy out in public, out in the open for a while.
They know about Ben.
I don't know if they know everything, but she definitely indicated that she wants her people to speak to us and figure things out. So it didn't sound very healthy for us to acquiesce to that is the word I was looking for.
So we shouldn't meet with her.
We should get back to Michael as soon as possible. He was also there, and he can fill you in on how he felt about that conversation. I'm sure, because she had some subtext for him as well. Suffice to say, I don't think he is probably as keen on his earlier advice for us to speak to her and get her on our side, or whatever it was he was trying to suggest before. I think he understands a little more about the position that we're in.
He played a role of neutrality, as anyone should. But inviting us here, he put himself in the crosshairs, which I knew would happen. God, that thing smacked me so hard. Holy shit. But,
Well, all I know is I need a shower and I need a change of clothes. These need to be burned.
I do agree, Tavard. But
I mean, a bath. I mean, because there's probably no showers around here. But
I think we smell fine.
I'm going to turn to Dian and say, look, you learned a lot about us in a short time. We didn't know much about you, but I have to say, your actions down here, I'm happy to have you with us, and thankful for what you've done today. You saved us a couple of times. You finished off the large creature before it could take me, and, well, you healed a lot of us. Your lion is pretty badass, and I'd like to offer you a permanent position in our party, if you'll have it.
Dean will step up in front of you and take a knee and put his right fist over his heart, bow his head, and says, "It would be an honor to serve you, my lord."
Careful, Dan. There's a big piece of poop right where you put your knee there.
I'll kind of grab his elbow and lift him up to his feet. And one condition, Dean. That's the last time you bend a knee to me. Okay?
Okay.
You're a chief in your own right. And I'll turn and start heading out. And kind of
Enough.
give everybody celebratory pats on the shoulder. And kind of stop by Blixel and say, just so you know, you're standing in shit right now.
Oh yeah. I know that. Well, one thing though, if this lady's looking for us, we're gonna have to get out of town quick, because someone this powerful is gonna have eyeballs in a lot of places. So let's make it quick.
Well, if Fran at Hogshead is truly a friend of Michael's, then I'm sure she'll be able to keep us a quiet place to bed down for the evening. But maybe we don't get drunk tonight. Out in public, anyway.
Hey, let's not get crazy. I'm getting drunk.
Just, yeah. Just, yeah, it sounds like a good plan. I'm with it.
You just got to be careful. No showboating out in the open.
Yeah,
Behind
no
closed
juggling
doors.
swords, Blixel. So we'll make our way back out, Adam, and before I get out into the public, hearing what Celine said, I'll kind of pull my cloak up over my head and tie it kind of tighter, and not like all the way over my eyes, but at least like over the top of my head enough where it covers maybe some of my long hair, and I'll push my braids back so they're behind my head instead of on my shoulder.
All
I
right,
know I
you do so as
got a
you're making
haircut.
your way back to the surface.
And I think we're gonna beeline for the inn.
All right, so you guys want to make your way to the Hogshead Bar?
And as we go, I'll fill them in on Brayson and the information he gave us about what happened, and to say that we're going to go to old Mister's candle shop and stop by before we go uh, tomorrow to meet Michael.
Wow, that's crazy. A candle maker has stuff laying around that could make something like that.
Well, he did say they sell other stuff other than candles, so who knows?
Hey, sounds like an alchemist.
Sounds like we were able to stop a larger problem from happening, considering he says that they replicate so fast. So good work.
Yeah, those things were rough. They didn't respond to any of my mind powers.
Yes, Blixel, your heckling does not work on everything, apparently.
But those ones, they were so easy. Like, they were so disgusting looking. It was it would have been great. Anyways, keep my head down. Adam, I have a question about a disguise kit. How
Okay.
long does it take to make a disguise for somebody?
It depends on how elaborate you're trying to go. Anywhere from, say, 30 seconds up to an hour.
Okay. So if it can be that quick to do like just a little something, Blixel probably would do something with the disguise kit to help everybody be a little more, little different than what they're looking like normally.
Okay, so something small. So yeah, you could take like maybe some of the makeup that's inside and just change the skin tone on people's faces pretty quickly. That wouldn't take you very long. If you wanted to like dye people's hair, that would take a bit longer. If you're trying to actually, do like a full on like clown makeup or something, like
No,
obviously
no.
that would take longer.
Yeah. Just the bare minimum, like as far as like quickness goes. Just because I was thinking of doing it more in depth at the actual inn, but just from the travel from here to the inn, like the bare minimum.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, go ahead and throw me a blind check to represent those efforts.
And while we're walking at them, I'd also like to kind of keep my head on a swivel. And anytime we see like a group of guards that are on patrol or anything, we'll kind of work our little caravan of people here to like a loop around, so we don't, they see us maybe or whatever, but we don't, directly pass them. So I know it may take us a little bit longer to get to where we're going, but maybe that could help us as well.
Okay, sure. And again, your intention is to make your way to the Hog's Head?
I think so, right, everybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
What time of day is it again?
It's like early afternoon at this point, maybe 1 o'clock, something like that.
Yeah.
We all need a shower for sure.
Eh,
Don't,
it's not
that's,
that bad. You just got to put cloth up your nose, and you won't smell it.
people are literally bisecting and moving away from us, Blixel.
I mean, that's good. The more they avoid us, the better. All right.
Yeah.
All right, but I agree. Let's get cleaned up.
All right, so you guys start making your way through Carolinian here, very bustling city. You can see people walking by you, and much like Vin suggested, anybody that gets a little bit too close, you do see they kind of, and they like stand back a bit as they look at you. Some people are giving you kind of like dirty looks from a distance. You definitely can tell that, yeah, you have an odor for sure. You make your way through the city streets trying to find this location, and sure enough, after about 5 minutes of walking or so, you see there's this establishment out front, and you can see that there is like, it almost looks like an actual hogshead that was dipped in stone, perhaps, as it is just this like large statued head of a hogshead. And it is right out in front. You can see that there is a sign right underneath it, kind of scratched, that once again says Hogshead Bar.
Right. Well, we buy a round for everybody.
Thanks.
Yeah, of course. Job well done. Job well done. We avoided that crazy monster with all the legs.
Should we get rooms first and clean up and then come back down? And
Yes, I think we have rooms. Do we not?
We
Don't,
we haven't
don't we?
even walked inside. We should go speak to Fran. It's pretty cool though. Look at the hog's head.
All
Oh,
right.
excuse me, Mr. Horse.
So we enter.
that was good, Dylan.
All right, as you guys make your way towards the entrance, you see the door opens, and as you're kind of like trying to get in, someone is actually stepping out. You see there's this fairly large gentleman, human, looks to be an Anwirian, but he's pretty broad of shoulder and a little bit more round in the middle. And you see he stops and he looks at you and he says, "Oh my goodness, whoa, where are you all coming from?"
We just need a room.
We're
Excuse
looking
us.
for Fran. Is Fran here?
"She is, but you're not going to talk to her smelling like that. Oh my goodness, she's going to scoot you out of here with her broom. And trust me when I say she's not too soft when she whacks you."
Well, we'd love to be able to bathe. Is there an option here? We could pay.
Yeah. Stay out here. Let me go inside and see what I can arrange for you.
What's your name?
Curtis.
Do you work here?
Kinda, sorta. Friends with friend, and you could say I'm the regular's regular.
All right, I'm just gonna go in then because you don't have the power to stop me, and I'm just gonna talk to the actual person that can help me. I'm sorry, you're probably really nice, and Buxel will just push into the place.
All right, yeah, you push on past him. You see he steps back and he shakes his head and he says, you hear him say under his breath, "I warned him."
And
stay
I
outside.
stay out.
Yeah, we'll all stay outside. I'm just gonna watch Blixel walk inside.
Canary in a coal mine.
And Buxel will try to assess the room and try to spot Fran?
Sure, yeah. So you scan around this room a bit. You can see that it is a decent sized room. There's kind of like a bar on one side. It is two-storied building. There's some tables out on the sides of the central area. There looks to be a back room. There's quite a few people in here right now, so you're kind of eyeing through, trying to spot who it is that you're looking for. But very much the same that you got out in the city. You notice as you enter and you pass by a couple people sitting by, they turn and look, and oh my goodness! And you see someone looks at you, another like patron here that looks at you and says, "Oh, jeez, what are you doing in here? Get out!"
You should see the other guy. Anyways, I'm looking for a bath. Is Fran around?
You see a lady behind the counter now, sort of like the commotion's growing, and she looks over at you and sees the what was the kid's name from Pigpen, where he's got all the little motion things above him. Like looks towards you, seeing that. You see she kind of comes over and she looks and she goes, "Oh, no, you're going to have to get out. I'm sorry. Go, come back some other time."
If there's any like obvious soiled areas of Blixel's clothing, he will press to digitate them clean.
Yeah, like he
To
didn't
make-
offer that when we were outside, though, dude.
So yeah, you can
Oh.
definitely spot some areas that look to be like soiled, and you kind of like start spot cleaning these as you're casting the spell. But you notice she kind of like pinches her nose and she says, "Oh, just go outside and do that."
Blixel will like look up at her and trying not to really draw attention to it will be like, Michael sent us. We're supposed to see you.
And you see her head kind of sags. "Oh, of course it would be him sending you kind of people here. Oh, I'm sorry, everybody. Just bear with me. Come in. Oh."
All right, my friends are outside. They're all in sort of a similar state. Just fair warning. We just need a bath to get this sorted out, okay? I'm sorry.
Yep, you see she nods and just again kind of pinching her nose. She says, "Tell him, come on."
Okay. And Blixel will pop his head outside and go, all right, guys, come on in.
Thank you, Curtis.
And you see he's kind of already like making his way out of here as best he can. All right, you guys all step on inside of the Hog's Head Bar. As you do so, you can see again, this is like a fairly decent sized area. Again, think of all of these tables on the side as currently being occupied with patrons, and the center area there is some folks sitting around there as well, though not as packed. The actual bar is that you see on the left side of the image there, and it's quite packed and well supplied, you might say. As you guys enter, you notice Fran kind of looks each of you up and down just real quickly and starts ushering you towards this back room.
Okay.
Yes,
I'll
ma'am.
follow.
All right, as you guys make your way to the back room, sort of following her, you see she leads you to the back, and she just says, "Just wait here. I'll get the tubs prepped and ready to go, and just don't go back out in the common room."
Thank you, Fran. And I'll take my hood off finally as we get into the back room. Michael sent us into the sewers for some reason. We're sorry we stunk your place up. Thank you for the baths.
Then you see with a grimace on her face, she's nodding, still with her nose plugged as she goes out, and you hear yelling some names out. "Get the tubs ready. We've got an emergency down here."
It's an emergency tub situation.
All right, is there anything you guys are trying to do or discuss before she makes her way back?
So, Celine,
Yes?
what were you doing in that tent? Did you just get kind of lost in thought? And then you were kind of trapped in their conversation?
Well, yeah, that big crowd of people came through and looked pretty intimidating, so I was gonna wait for them to pass before joining up with you guys again, but then they didn't pass, and their leader went into the central tent, and Michael ended up calling for me, so I kind of had to go.
Well, Serena stared her down like a badass, and I kind of slapped Serena on the back. She was kind of intimidating, Serena. You looked her dead in the eye. What could you take from it? Does she seem formidable?
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
She was definitely intimidating.
Well,
It takes a bit to unsteady me.
well, I appreciate you making sure you moved out of her way before causing a bigger problem, but I loved how you let her know who you were in those few seconds. She'll remember your face for sure. Either way, though, there's something I think we should look into. Maybe we should have asked the rats, but I'm going to reach back into my pack and kind of look back towards the door and give it a second before I pull it out to make sure no one's coming in right as I do. And when no one does, I'm going to pull out that large stone key and say, "Remember, this was the only thing that Tegan gave my brother and I. It opens something. It has to be here." And I'll stick it back into my pack. Right?
Or giant lands.
It's quite large. But if something is this large, people will know about it, right? Someone would have had to have seen a massive door or something, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a smart person, this is probably the best place to find one around.
Well, what I'm worried about is, what if Miele needs this? Whatever it is, she hasn't had access to for 23 years.
Maybe she might just want to get rid of you because you're a threat. She's in charge, right? Pretty much, for the most part.
Well, she started the coup, from my understanding, that got my father killed.
And your uncle's just a little,
Pawn.
puppet boy up there. So, I mean, she's basically running stuff. So I mean, you might be a threat to them. So,
It's
you
probably
know,
both, to be honest. But,
I wouldn't expect her to know about the key because I've never heard about that. Have you? Key to what? We don't even know.
well, maybe we can find the right friend to ask about it here, right? Because, like I said, if something is that large, we everyone would know about it, right? A great stone door or something.
You would think so, but I mean, like I said, I've never heard of it. Celine, who's one of the smartest people we know, she didn't know where it was from. I think it would take a specialized nerd to know about that kind of stuff.
Specialized nerd.
Anyways, um, I I'd like to talk to people too, but I'm scared of that guild lady. I think she's gonna like she saw some of us there, right? And Celine, you said she's looking for us or just looking for Vin?
The conversation made it sound like she wanted to speak to all of us, or have her people speak to all of us. So
So why didn't she just snatch us up there? You know what I mean? Unless she didn't want it obvious that she was gonna
Well, half of
talk
us
to
were
us.
in the tent, remember, Blixel? There was only Serena and Tavard outside at the time. We saw her pass while we were in the tent with Michael.
Yeah, but she saw them, right?
Yes,
but
that
she
is
You
also
true.
she also knows we're under Michael's protection, so I think that's why she wanted to talk to him to try to get him to capitulate to her requests, and when he didn't, then she had to reassess.
okay? All right. I'm just saying. Seems awful weird if she wants to talk to us to not just come and talk to us when she sees
Oh,
us. But
I think by talk to us, she wants to stabby stab, smacky smack. You know,
maybe not in that order.
potentially yes. But
or
either way,
or smack and stab and smack and stab. I'm not down for any of it.
Well, she'll have to go through me.
And I'll smile and put my
Okay.
hand on her shoulder. Well, before we do anything, let's have a bath, a beer, some food, catch our breath, right? And then, since we have some time in the day, maybe we'll go stop by old Mister's candle shop.
Well, maybe. I don't got any healing left, so I might just lay low. But let's get a bath first and foremost.
As you
Good
guys are
plan.
chatting, you hear the sound of footsteps approaching, and you see two young men, each holding one end of a copper tub, and you see them back in. Oh, excuse me, I got orders of. Oh my goodness, what is that foul stench? Wow.
What do you think the tub's for, idiot? I don't say that.
I was about to say saline.
They kind of set the tub down, and one looks at the other, and they look at you. We're bringing more. It was 6, right?
Yeah,
Yes, please.
extra bubbles in mine.
Could you bring us some bath beers?
You see the one on the other side nods and says, Yep. How many you want? One
6.
each? One each? Oh, okay.
1. I need 2.
You can have mine.
And you see him trying to count on his fingers, and when he gets to 5, 6?
Yep.
How many,
6.
how many fingers do you have there?
You see he looks back down. 5?
No, on both hands.
Keep 'em coming.
And you see his head kind of slumps, and he, well, yeah, we could do that, but you got coin, right?
How much is it?
For, and you see he looks at his hands.
Te-
5,
10 ales. 10 ales.
10 ales, that'll be 20 copper.
I got it. All right, here's 3 silver. Keep the extra. Okay? But just make sure my bath is nice and hot.
Oh, yeah, right away, sir. Thank you. I'll make sure to do that. And you see the two of them kind of scurry out quickly, and you hear the one kid say, Did he really give you 3 silver? And you hear, yeah, come on, let's go. Move your ass. And in pretty short order, you see these two same young men hauling in other tubs, which they basically put them kind of side by side, maybe a foot between each one. They kind of have to scoot some of the chairs and stuff out of the way. But after short order, there are 6 tubs lined up here, and you see them wheel over, like on this cart, what looks to be a large basin of water, and then it also has a ewer. And they kind of dip the ewer in, they start filling up the tubs, and you see they look at each other and they say, we don't have quite enough water to make sure they're all super hot, so you might have to go in shifts, like 3 at a time, 3 in this one, and then we'll fill the other 3 up as soon as the water's heated again, so sorry.
I prefer my baths cold, and I'll just go ahead and plunge into the first one after I just get butt naked and just plunge right into it.
All right, so they're actually dumping hot water into this one. Do you say you prefer it cold as you get into the hot water one?
Yeah, and I'm like, God, sorry, I'll wait.
And you see they kind of look at you and just kind of chuckle a little bit. Oh, we'll keep bringing more. And they kind of see. So this is like a process where they're going back and forth. At one point, you see only one of the kids come back as he's wheeling this like cart over. And you see the other one brings over a platter, and he starts putting down mugs of ale on the side table here, just one after another. He's got like 5 lined up, and then kind of runs back over, gets the other 5, brings those back, and looks back at you all. Is there anything else you need before we get out of your hair?
Yeah, could someone, I hate to ask, but could someone maybe get some common clothes and burn mine for me?
That would be a pleasure. Yeah, absolutely. And you see he kind of looks over, and I assume you're kind of like stripping your clothes off at this point, Tabard?
Yeah, and I'm taking all my valuables, but definitely more than glad to burn my whatever it is I got right now.
Yeah, so you see he kind of pinches his nose with one hand and then holds your clothes up with the other one, kind of eyeballs him, and then he nods and heads out.
And I'm going to take my 2 daggers into my hands, and then I'm going to slide myself into my cold tub and just take a deep breath. Oh, that's nice. And I'll kind of put one dagger down at the side, like on the floor, and then I'll pick up my bath beer and I'll lean back and I'll start drinking.
You notice the one kid kind of runs back in and says, oh, someone wanted bath bubbles, right? And you see he pulls out this small vial,
Yep.
and it's you, okay. And you see like does a couple droppers into it, and then you see he takes this like ladle thing and he starts swooshing around the water, and sure enough, it starts foaming up pretty well.
Excellent. Is that going to help clean me as well?
I don't know, but it sure smells nice, doesn't it? Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, it's a
God.
flowery.
Lavender.
You've done
Adamant ale.
very well. Here is 5 copper for you.
Oh, thank you so much. This is great. Let me know. Just holler if you need anything else. I'll be right outside.
All right. And Blixel will get into the bubble bath.
So,
Nice, right,
so,
Blix?
so Blixel, why do you give more money for things that they said was less money?
It's so they like me more. Simple fact.
But
He's
they're
got to
rip-
do it
they're-
that way.
You're getting ripped off.
I wouldn't call it that way. I'm paying for extra services.
Imagine as you said that as your head slowly goes below the bubbles, and Dean's a bit confused, but
Yeah.
is learning.
He like blows some bubbles up in the air. Sometimes
Oh,
you
so-
got to pay a little extra for the better things in life, and and they treat you better if you tip them a little bit. It's called tipping.
No, it's called bribing. That I get it now. You bribe them. Okay.
Bribing it's a way uglier word than tipping. Try to say tipping. It makes you feel better about it. Okay.
Okay. All right.
He's paying so they don't hate him.
Yeah, because I'm asking for like extra stuff. It's not really their job, I don't think, but now we all have 2 beers. Besides Celine, I know you're not drinking.
It's like we could barely see Celine's head over the bathtub, you know? What are you doing over there? Just sitting there.
Cleaning myself. It was awful down there, and I got the least of it. It's like some of you guys were swimming in there or something.
At one point, I did go into the water. Yes, it was involuntary.
That's
I
really bad.
Yeah, how are you feeling?
I'm fine.
You didn't like
I-
open your eyes or mouth underwater, did you?
No, I was only like, it's like
Yeah,
splish splash boom out. You know?
Did someone fail a check in the sewage? I forget.
There's a chance.
How's Tavern looking?
Just as ugly as he always is.
Oh, okay. So we didn't see it happen, is when you were invisible.
So
Yeah, that's correct.
you guys-
And he was out of line of sight as well.
I know that I accidentally dunked into the water, got a little bit of a mouthful more than I intended to. So
Wow, I didn't even get wet.
That's really unhealthy.
gross.
We should keep you under observation for a while. Make sure there's no pink in your eyes.
don't be looking at me while I'm in my tub. But yeah, after that, that's fine. Don't want anyone being jealous or anything, you know.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
any of you know how to braid? So like, if I take these braids out and wash my hair, like somebody can braid them back for me.
Never learned that one. Did you and your brother used to braid each other's hair?
No, not really. Tegan would. But once she braided it, I haven't really ever taken it out. I mean, it's probably been
Oh,
3 or 4 years. Just hangs there.
there's
But
just
I
like
feel like
just
this
like
situation
full of
kind of,
bugs.
yeah, it kind of calls for me to let it out, you know, considering that was poop.
You might even think about cutting it off.
I couldn't do such a thing.
You would look different.
Yeah. Why not? New
Good
year,
point.
new you.
Then he has to find a new for his
Hell
thing.
no, Adam already gave me a warning.
Customizations are going to come with a charge in the future.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a place here in town that would clean you up.
All right. Well, I'll start undoing my braids and like really letting my hair out, shaking it. God, it's long, isn't it?
Then you really gotta lay off that rubber ducky.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
well,
is that?
I don't know why my bath had one and yours didn't, but ADHD, you know.
Special
Well,
privileges.
I tipped him. I tipped him for that one.
Oh, well, thank you, Blixel. I will keep
Yeah, no
this,
problem.
and later in the future, when I have a Jeep, I'll put it in the dashboard and drive it around.
You notice the young man kind of comes back in holding clothing in his hand, and he looks over to you, Tavard. He said, Sir, this one's a little bit more expensive, but I thought this would look great on you. What do you think about this one?
Oh, that's nice.
Wow, fancy.
Yeah, Tavard, I think that would look good for you. It doesn't have any pants, though.
So when you say expensive, how much did you pay for that trash anyway?
Oh, no, I didn't pay for it yet. He said that I could come show it to you, and if you wanted to buy it, if you didn't want to buy it, it's okay. But this set here is considered very fine clothes, so it would cost you 2 gold pieces.
No, I just need something that's a little bit. I don't want people looking at me that much. Something a little bit more kind of like common and comfortable. You
Do you
know.
have a potato sack?
And you see he
Wait,
looks, oh, okay, I see. You just want like
Maybe
regular, like plain, everyday clothes.
Yeah, maybe a little bit better than the trash you just threw away quality, but nothing too fancy, please.
Oh,
I'll
okay,
have a look.
I'll see what I can
Oh,
find.
hold up, sir. I'll have a look at it.
Oh, okay, excellent. Yeah, see, it's made of, he said really nice fabers, something, but it's all like knitted together and stuff.
uh,
That's sharp.
and Dean will say, "Well, let's make sure it fits." And I'd be interested in buying it. How much did you say?
2 gold pieces, and he said he would fit it to him, but yeah, I'm sure he'd fit it to you as well.
That'd be great. I'd like it fitted, please.
Yeah, okay. And you see he kind of holds it up nearby you. Yeah, it doesn't look like it needs much alteration, but I could probably do this. Yeah, let me take it back to him.
Wait, young man. I think it's probably safe if you do that for all of us, but, you know, let's try to keep it around like a gold apiece, maybe? And, we'll make sure to take care of you, but, we probably could all use a new set of clothes.
Oh, great. Yeah, let me head back to the shop and see what he's all got.
And, sir,
Yeah.
we tip a little bit more for your discretion on explaining exactly what we look like. General descriptions, yes?
Oh, yeah. Fran already said, she said, shut those mouths up or you're going to get one of these. And, with a hand.
Yeah, and I'll like pick my dagger and smile and say, "Yeah, we understand. Thanks."
And you see he nods and hurries back out.
You guys want to hear what happened when we got separated? How we found the little one?
Yeah, where was that little guy, anyways?
So the hallway that Tavard crept past and went, directly into the center of hell. Well, he was right down that little guy. As I went down, Serena came by and she stood in between me and the monster, but that made no difference. It slapped us about 8 times, both of us. It just went haywire. It hit us multiple times, and it was it was venomous almost. And like when it stung you, you kind of stayed in place for a moment. But I was able to resist it and pull Serena around the corner. And when we came around the corner, guess who was hiding under the staircase?
So what I'm hearing is the entire time we just had to make a right turn and then we could have avoided all of that.
Essentially.
Yeah, I
And I'll
took the
dip my
long
head under the
route
water.
to get nowhere.
No one
Live and learn.
died. That's our motto, crew. No one died. I do miss my brother, though.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Me too.
do we need to send word to Michael
I'm sure Fran already has. We'll ask when we get done here, but maybe we take about an hour or so, drink our beers, eat some. Did they bring food? Is there any cheese?
So, dude, Adam, I got a question for you. Are we in that back room? Like with
You are,
six
but
tubs?
it's kind of wider than it appears there, so you're not necessarily right in the doorway where everybody can just like gander at you.
In my mind, I'm like, this is so weird.
This guy's walking by, you're like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah, I mean, there's a door, right, Adam?
So not to get into that part of the back room, but think about it if you like walk through there and then turn to your right, that's basically where you guys are. So when they come through the doorway, like they can't see you from the outside.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. And then inside of this room to the right is 6 copper tubs, and just
Yeah.
all of us.
Naked, standing in the middle of the tub with all the junk hanging out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Standing in mine.
Yeah, and
The
keep in mind that,
customary-
like, these times and everything, like, nudity's really not a big deal. Like, as long as you're not streaking through the middle of town and stuff. But, like, in a bathhouse or, like, that kind of an area, nobody's like, oh, think of the children. It's not like no one cares.
Yeah, look at Celine. She's usually bashful, but she just dove right in.
I'm too encrusted with blood. You can't see anything.
It doesn't matter. We're all great friends. I'm thankful for you guys. Thank you for your help today and every day before now, and every day after now.
No problem.
Let's go somewhere nicer than the sewers next time, though.
I just expect a castle at the end of this, okay? That's it. Just one castle.
You know, Blixo, I've actually been thinking of what title to give you. You want to hear what I've settled on, or would you like it to be a surprise in the future?
Surprise me. It might change depending on what I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you remember that day where we stood out and we looked over the river? And you said your main goal and everything is to just be a great entertainer. Kinda has something to go along with that. I'm sure you'll like
Jingle bells, jingle bells.
the duties that come along with it.
Okay.
And I've also figured something out for Celine as well. Tavard, I know you're quite passive. I'm thinking of something for you, and, well, there's no better general that I'd like to have for any army than Serena.
I already know the job I want.
What would that be?
Beer taster, and it's mine. Nobody else can have it.
Okay. All right.
And not like ones to make sure the king's not being poisoned, by the way. I'm talking like normal kegs of beer.
Like you want your own storeroom. I understand.
What do you rate these beers that we're having at this place?
I don't
Is
care
it
about
ale, Adam, or mead, or beer, or what did we
ale.
get?
Yeah, you guys ordered ale for the 2 coppers per unit. I would say, like, baseline, this seems to be a little bit of a notch above what you're used to.
It's fine.
It's better than that swill we had back at the old Hamlet. You wonder, did you think they sent anybody there? Probably, right?
Almost certainly.
It's probably burnt to the ground because of the way these guys operate.
All right, and as you guys are chatting, you notice Fran pokes her head around the corner, and she says, "Oh, my friends, it is good to see you getting clean, and yes, that's so much better. And of course, we've taken care of your clothes, and I sent the man out to get some more for you. And well, there's quite a bit of different options, so hopefully all of that is in order, and everybody can relax a bit more now. I did send word to Lord Michael. They'll just let him know that you're here and everything is going fine. So I already received a return message. He said, relax and rest and enjoy your day, and he would call for you tomorrow morning."
Friend, we really appreciate your hospitality.
Oh, it is no problem at all. I always take care of my friends.
Since you said we should enjoy the remainder of our day, is there any sights to see in town? landmarks or anything of import that we should see before we leave?
To be quite honest, not much in the way of landmarks. Anything that would have been considered of something of great beauty was mostly in the wild areas, and sadly, most of those have been cut down by now. So no, I can't think of anything you really need to see. Of course, there's some shops and things around if you have coin to spend. Yeah, I'm afraid I can't think of anything really that comes to mind. I would also suggest not getting too adventurous. Lord Michael did say he wanted to make sure that you were safe and let him know right away if, well, anything untoward happened. So stay close and safe, and.
If we needed things, can you send your man to go get them for
Of
us?
course I can. Yes. What do you need? I can send a runner out.
Maybe this is kind of. I know we leveled, and I wanted to get rid of my shield and my hide armor and pick up a quarterstaff. But
How-
but we're not really leveled yet.
Dian, I'll take on that shield. I know we talked about future armaments, but I've been thinking about picking one up.
Okay, all right. Yeah, it'd be an honor to have you wield the Cathbad shield, and you look at it, and it's got like a little lion head on it, and it looks somewhat official as much as it can be for a wooden shield. But he held it with two hands and hands it to you carefully. I hope it fares you well.
I'm still in the bath, but
Oh,
thank
you
you.
guys are still bathing. I'm done. Yeah. Okay.
I like to soak. I get nice and wrinkly.
A
I
good
could let
soak
you.
helps with the inflammation.
I could let you use my dad's favorite quarterstaff.
It's
And
all Dad's favorite.
as you're laughing, Dean doesn't quite get the joke. It's like, oh, you mean use it or?
Get your own.
Oh, okay.
All right, so between bathing and then drinking, and I'm assuming eventually you guys ask for meals, and she is delivering those as well. She seems to be giving most of the meals. She's covering the charge. It really is just the alcohol that she is asking for coins if you guys want more of that. Other than just kind of relaxing throughout the rest of the day, and anything that's like in the PHB that you want, she can certainly send a runner out to just check that out. Is there anything in particular you guys want to do before getting your long rest in?
I'll ask if she can have someone pick me up a quiver of arrows.
She says
And
that would be no problem, and that is delivered to you pretty quickly.
perfect. And then I'll take Dian's shield with my new stuff. And is there any way that during this bath, Adam, that maybe we can short rest those that would like to?
Absolutely, you could. Yeah, if you have a short rest left.
Yeah, I'd like to use one of mine, please.
Yep, yeah, you can definitely do that. Just go ahead and type in the chat what you're restoring.
So can I sell my hide armor?
So this is hide armor that has been worn in battle, right?
Yes, it's been.
You can, but you don't think you're going to get much for it. Let me pull up the price for that. Yeah, so regular priced hide armor is 10 gold. When you ask for her assistance to kind of sell that, they say, they're not going to go to a bunch of different shops and try to get you the best deal. They're just doing a service to basically take it to a shop. And they come back and they say, the shop owner says they'll buy it for 1 gold.
Great. And pick up a quarterstaff for me. Kind of exchange it, maybe. I think a quarterstaff's not even a gold, but I do need one of those. Apparently, Shillelagh, you need to have a club or a quarterstaff. Can't be anything else.
That is correct. And yes, they will certainly take that trade, no problem.
All right, done. Thank you.
Anything else anybody else would like to do?
Nope, I think I'm good. But
Your short rest does go through, so you can restore, roll and restore HP.
perfect.
Blixel's gonna look over to Bard. Make sure he's not sick.
Give me a blind check here, Blixel, to see if you can determine that. Okay, and this is a skill that you're not proficient in, right?
No.
Yeah, you don't notice anything about Tabard, anything different. He looks just like he normally does.
Wow. You dwarves, you can just drink sewer water and you're fine. Amazing.
Yeah, we're used to drinking stuff, bad ale, so it kind of just same thing.
Huh. Okay. Okay.
And Adam, do you have an idea of how much the clothes would cost as well?
Yeah, so if each of you guys are looking for about as fancy as what was originally displayed, that would be 2 gold per set. If you're looking for more like commoner clothes, they can get you those for 5 silver per set.
Okay.
Are our clothes just like they still smell horrible?
Yes, anybody whose clothes they wore in the sewer, unless they're like really well laundered, they seem to always have a stench to them.
Okay, so Blixel will dispose of those and get one of the fine sets of clothes.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm
sure.
gonna take a fine set as well, and I bought that quiver of arrows, and then that's it for me. And then I got my 2 hit dice because it's 2 per short rest because that's our proficiency bonus, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
I took a fine set of clothing for 2 gold pieces.
Same.
And what's
Same.
our total bill other than the clothes?
They did not charge you for food, so you guys spent I think it was 3 silver Blixel gave for all the drinks, and then anything else ancillary that you purchased would be PHB prices.
Right, I don't need anything else, but I'm just going to drop a gold down as far as tip and my clothing goes.
They are very much appreciative with that. All right, is it safe to say you guys are going to rest, relax here for the rest of the day, and sleep through the night to get your long rest?
Yes.
Did we want to go to the candle house today, or did we want to do that tomorrow?
I say we go tomorrow. And we'll do that then. And also, Adam, whenever I retire to my room, I'd like to try to make 2 healing potions from the red amnesia mushrooms that I got from Eron, the lady.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you can give that a try. Let me pull up that rule set.
I'd rather go to that place tomorrow because we're gonna have to go out anyways to see Michael, right?
I agree.
Sure. My only concern is that if Michael decides that we need to leave like immediately, we may not be able to follow up on that. But
Yeah, that's a good point.
Maybe. But
We did tell him we'd meet him in the morning, so perhaps before we head out for Michael, we leave a little early. That seems fine to me.
Dean, go ahead and give me 2 blind checks, please. All right, so as you have all of the ingredients that you purchased from the store here in Carolinian, and you have the recipe that was given to you by the shop owner, you follow exactly what it says. You found this actually to be pretty straightforward and easy, and yes, you make 2 potions of healing.
I'm like in my room by myself, and I'm like, wow.
So think of it as each one of these took basically an hour to brew.
Copy.
All right, if there is nothing else, we will pass by time until the morning. Okay, guys, you sleep overnight here. I'm applying a long rest to you. You can reset your short rest back to 2. You guys sleep, enjoy your time here, eat, drink as much as you need, soak in the tubs, eventually getting done with that, dress in your new clothing. The young men come in, take the tubs out. You have time to sit around, kind of chat with your teammates for a while, but eventually you each retire to your rooms, sleep, and as you wake up in the morning feeling quite refreshed, Except, Tavard, oh, you're not feeling so well. You wonder if it has something to do with swimming around in sewer water. You realize you've got like this fatigue and cramps and, one level of weariness, unfortunately.
Must have been something I ate or drank.
Other than that, however,
Yeah.
you guys each wake up and exit out of your rooms here. The rooms were also covered for you by Fran. Again, nothing super fancy, but certainly comfortable. As you guys slowly make your way down to the common room, she ushers you into that same back room again, where you can see the tables and chairs have kind of been rearranged here. And then as she sees that you're all there, it's pretty early. Think of this as being like 8 in the morning, something like that. She has this small piece of parchment, and you can see she's got this like little sketching on it, and she puts it down on the table, and she says, "Okay, good morning, all. I wish I could serve food and drinks for you, but Lord Michael was pretty insistent that first thing in the morning you head right and speak with him. He said it was a time-sensitive matter, and this is where he's staying. It's a local manor here, some friend of his. This is the house, but he says to please come here as soon as you woke up."
No breakfast.
I
Come on,
could probably
Blixel,
get you like some bread, maybe real quick. He sounded like it was you had to get there really quick. I can't do anything hot. Maybe some bagels.
Yeah, some bread and honey. All right.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. Just a moment. You see, she scurries back out.
All right. Well, I guess we're gonna have to see Michael. Here we go.
And it's probably 3 minutes later when she comes back with a platter. And yeah, you can see some rough cut bread here. And you can see a little thing of honey on the side as though it's kind of like drizzled from a little container.
Well, thank you so much, Fran. You've been a delight.
She nods. Yep, anything, no problem. I'm happy to help.
May I ask you one thing?
Sure.
How do you know Michael?
And you see she kind of smiles as she looks at you. Well, we kind of go back a ways. He's a person of great honor, and he's always been very friendly. I kind of know his father a little bit better than I know him, but I've always thought of him as a very good man, and I would help him in any way that I could. You know, sometimes people, you can just tell after spending some time with them that they're the good ones.
Huh? That's how I feel about you, Fran.
And
All
so
right.
she
Great,
smiles again.
honestly. I agree with Blixo. I think we all do. This is one of the first times we felt safe and like we could close our eyes and sleep. Thank you.
And you see she smiles and nods. I would offer you other things, but I know you, like he said, you really have to get it going. So unless there's anything last minute quick.
Yeah. One quick question. What do you know about the candle shop?
The candle
Yeah,
shop? Can you be more
yeah,
specific?
What was the name of the place, Finn?
Old Mister's Candle Shop. Run
Yeah.
by.
Old Mister's. Oh, yeah. You're talking about the store in town, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, old Mister. He's kind of a strange fellow. Big purple beard. I don't really know him real well, but I've heard people talk about him. He seems to sell a bit of different things.
Would he happen to be on the way to this manor?
And you see she looks down at the sketching. He's a little ways away, but probably take you like an extra 2 minutes to walk there.
Perfect. All right, friend. Well, thank you. And honestly, when we're back in town, you'll be one of the first we come and see. Again.
You see she smiles and nods at you.
Oh. You got like a bottle of like whiskey maybe for like 2 or 3 gold I can give you?
2 or 3 gold for a bottle of whiskey? Wow. Well, that would be far more expensive than most normal whiskey. Are you looking for something high end?
No, just something for me to have while we're moving.
Well, I can get you just what we typically sell here would just be 3 silver for a decent bottle.
All right, I'll take one of those, and actually give me 2, and then you keep the change. Here, I'll give her a gold piece.
You see she smiles and says, "Oh, I'll bring that right out." And shortly later, she does just that, setting 2 bottles of whiskey on the table right next to you.
All right, let's beat feet.
Indeed.
And we run out.
All right, you guys exit out of the Hogshead Bar pretty quickly, making your way back into Carolinian. Are you headed straight for where the sketch was, or are you headed for the candle shop?
Well, what
I
do you
vote
think,
candle-
guys?
candle
I think
shop.
we should go to Michael.
My vote is to go to Michael first too, but that's my vote.
That's what I vote for too.
3 Michaels. What do you say, Tavard?
Well, I was just going to be difficult, but I'll go to Michael's too.
Gonna go to
Man, I
Michael's,
really-
get that crafting equipment.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
she almost.
I didn't know if they had them anywhere else that anyone would understand. So.
Man, I really wanted to see the purple beard, but yeah, I think we should. If Michael is sounding urgent, you know, he doesn't ever seem like a guy who would be urgent. So
Sounds important.
All right. We guess we're going off to Michael's then.
All right, so you follow the sketched instructions of where to head. You walk through the town, and you're getting to the fancier quarters of the town, where the plots for the homes start to get larger and larger, and you find yourself entering the estate here that looks to be a reasonably sized estate. It's not the largest or most fanciest thing you've ever seen, but from just a size perspective, it's somewhere like 60 feet by 40 feet, so comparatively quite large compared to what you're used to. As you approach, you see that there is a set of double doors at the front, and standing at either side of the door and at either side of the building is men, apparently men, as they are dressed in armor. They have helmets that have visors on, and you can see them wearing Moriad's colors.
hello, Michael is expecting us.
And you notice the soldier standing at the right side of the door nods, and he says, "Welcome. He is right on inside. Head on in." And he opens the door for you.
I also want to remind everybody that at this level, our hero points change to 1d8.
Yes.
Ooh,
Ooh.
nice.
And you get 3 of them.
Right. We go in.
All right. The 6 of you guys enter. As you do so, you find yourself in a decently sized main room. There's this large, elaborate carpet that stretches out before you. It has kind of a odd symbol on it. It kind of looks like some kind of circular, maybe like a sigil of some kind. The door is closed behind you by that same armored man. You also notice there's like some side rooms off of this. As you enter, you see Michael actually walk from one of those side rooms. He actually gets up off of a cushion, and you see he steps out into the main room, and he looks at you all. "Oh, welcome to. It's very good to see you again, friends. I was hoping everything well, and Fran treated you well."
Yeah, check out this new outfit.
And he looks you up and down. He says, "Yes, you much more fit in with this area of Carolinian, that is for sure. It is quite good to see you all as well. After the events of the tournament, I wasn't quite sure how everything was going, but suffice to say, I assume everything went well."
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. We rescued the rat folk Nexic. His son was missing, and we were able to track him down. There's a massive carrion crawler. That's what it's called, right, Celine?
Yes, that's what they said.
Underneath. And I wouldn't suggest sending any men down there, ever. It was massive, and we all lived. Fortunately, we smelled like shit. Fran let us bathe, and here we are.
A massive carrion crawler underneath the city. That is not something you hear every day.
It seemed to be abnormally large, right, Celine, from what you said?
Far larger than anything I've ever read about.
That's quite odd. We should fill in the local government here just to let them know. That's very unusual. We want to make sure it's not a danger, but if it's in the sewers and doesn't come out, I suppose maybe it's made a little bit of a lair down there. But, well, that is good to hear. I'm curious, I must ask. I'm afraid that in the city, things, my mind plays tricks on me sometimes. How did you know exactly to come here?
Friend gave us a sketch, and I'll pull out the little sketch. Yeah.
All right. And as you're pulling the sketch out, you notice the door to your north suddenly opens, and you see Miele Birian enter. All
Is
right.
it supposed to be dark in here, Adam?
It is not supposed to be dark. Let me. I guess I'll just turn on global illumination real quick.
I can see if that means anything.
You got dark vision, that's why you can see. So,
Oh, okay.
So Fran betrayed us, Adam, after all the nice things we said to her.
oh, you're gonna have to find that out, right? So, as Miele Birian steps through the door, you notice Michael looks over towards her, and he seems quite surprised. And then she scans you all real quick, and she says, "Oh, I'm the one that asked that you all meet here, for we have some very important details to speak about." And you see she looks back over towards your group.
Hi.
And you see Michael looks over towards her and he says, "This is very, very unusual. This will not be tolerated. You understand I have soldiers all around this place, right?" And you see she looks over towards him and she says, "Oh, they look like your soldiers, but they're actually mine."
Hey, you starting a war here? What are you doing?
And you see she brushes this like fleck on her chin, just kind of looks at it in her finger and just kind of skitters it away as she throws her hand out, looking back over towards you. "No, I am not starting anything. I think we need to have a conversation here, though. Which one of you is Vin? I'm assuming the bright blonde one that looks like he doesn't have two thoughts in his head. Why don't you step forth?" So I'm unlocking the tokens here to allow you to do sort of normal, typical movement here. If you're trying to move very quickly or do anything like darting or anything like that, obviously we will roll initiative.
I moved up
I
there.
dare speak to him in that tone.
I moved up there and said, "I'm Vin."
And you see she looks towards you with a nonplussed expression, and then she looks back over towards Serena, and she just kind of smiles a bit. She says, "This is Cariele, and more importantly, this is Carolinian. This is my land. Lord Michael will be treated with quite respect." And then you see she turns back to him. "I don't intend to have you get wrapped up in any of this, but as these individuals are under your protection, I thought it important we all have a conversation."
I'll step to about here.
And you see she nods as she looks towards you and she says, "Oh, I'm sure you're wondering what all it is that I know. Suffice to say that I know everything. I know who you are. I know all of you. I know your stories. I know what brings you here. You see, I'm a purveyor of information. I learn things when I need to. I know all about your travels to Rendale and meeting Ryans there. I know everything that has gone on. So let's just cut right to the point here. You're here trying to reclaim a lost throne, yes?"
Currently, we were invited with Michael. We came to watch the tournament.
Don't beat around the bush. That might be the reason you're here at the moment, but your long-term plan is your father's throne, is it not?
It's mine by right.
Rights are a funny thing. I found that you have to have power to enforce rights, and let's be honest, you don't have very much. But it's your lucky day, because I'm a very reasonable woman. You see, I am more than happy to make a deal with you, as it were. Your uncle is, how shall I say, well, he's an idiot. He's a useless idiot, in fact, and I don't see any reason why we couldn't just swap him out and swap you in.
Can I ask
agree.
you a question, Miele?
Sure, you can certainly ask me a question, but I suggest you keep it brief.
I really hope you stop making suggestions to me because I'm really working on a new demeanor. But my question to you is why did you kill my father?
Oh, your father was a very stubborn individual. He couldn't see the grander plan, you see. He had these strange thoughts about how things should work, and he really held back our success by quite a bit. Ever since he's been gone, well, this land has prospered. It's been much richer. The people have benefited. We're almost like an actual kingdom up here now, if you can believe that. You wouldn't believe how things were back when your father ruled.
The land's not prospering, but
Your
maybe you
land
are.
is dying.
The
I
land is not
appreciate.
dying. You're being facetious. Yes, of course, the logging guild has cut down many of the trees, but certainly you've seen some of the quick growth trees that we've replanted. We are taking efforts. It would be foolish for us to just desolate the land and not leave any future lumber to cut down for our needs. So we are trying to be good stewards of the land, but well, sometimes you have to tilt things a bit farther than you might like at first, but we will bring it back to balance in time.
You keep using this expression we after the question I just asked you is why you killed my father.
Oh, I say
You
we
see,
because this building is surrounded by about a dozen soldiers, and I want to make sure because I've heard you're a bit of a hothead and you think that you're strong and you like to fight first and charge forth and not really think things through. So I'm saying we many, many times so you understand that if you try that this time, your little ass is going to get smashed into the ground.
sure,
Well, you can't say
sure.
she didn't warn us.
I hear you, Mieli. But
Well,
please do not cut me off, and we can avoid that. You wanted a discussion, but it seems you're the only one talking. So, could you please allow me to talk? Is that fine with you?
Feel free to speak.
Thank you. Where is my mother?
You see, she smiles a bit. I do actually know the answer to that question, and she's pretty close, but information has value, and I don't just give things away for free. That's not how I got to my current position. But suffice to say, if we can strike an agreement here, I will take you right to her if that is your wish.
Well, confirmation of her being alive is good enough for me because, well, it's the first I've had in 23 years. You know, over that time, I've had a lot of time to think. A lot of time to think. And all of that time, I didn't know that, well, this place was mine by right. But you know, Riot sent men to our hamlet. He tied them to palisades. He killed my brother.
He is quite efficient at what he does. When he is given a task, he carries it out quite well. I am sure you have strong feelings about the people that you grew up with, but you have to understand in Cariele, if you aren't strong, you get walked all over. I am strong. The logging guild is strong. What I say goes. I'm offering you a little part of that, and I would suggest you think carefully about that offer.
I'll think about it. In the meantime, us and Michael and his soldiers are going to leave.
I'm afraid I need an answer now, my lord.
If you want an answer now, then we'll do this in the market square in front of everybody. Otherwise, you can let us leave, and we'll come and have this discussion another day. But I assume the reason why you have us surrounded and cornered and you come up with this whole scheme to keep us trapped in here and use your little powerful monologues was to avoid the greater population knowing that, well, you killed everybody to gain your power.
Not quite a secret. I mean, people know I'm quite ruthless. I do what needs to be done to get things done, just as I'll have to do now if you don't agree to these terms. Are you disagreeing? Are you refusing to even hear the terms?
We should hear what she has to say, then.
I'll hear your terms.
Well, I suggest you simply take your uncle's spot. If you want to keep him around, we can do that. Just we'll do a show coronation kind of thing. We can even throw a celebration in your honor, maybe have a big feast and such, put you up at that big table in a high chair, make you feel all important and such. But even though you will be the Count of Cariele, understand that I am the true power behind the throne. If you're actually somewhat smart, or maybe some of your friends here more likely are, perhaps we can eventually even work together. I would love to have a partner that actually knows what they're doing and can contribute. Wow, that would be, well, it'd be a much different case than what I have to deal with right now. Your uncle, oh, gee, he has some fancy with clothes and fine things, but as I said, he is quite an idiot. Not a whole lot going on between his two ears. I hope you would be better than him. As long as you stay out of my way and don't cause any problems, you can take your throne and you can rule Cariele.
And a castle.
You see, she looks past Tavern towards you, Blixel. Well, of course, the Count of Cariele would own the castle here in Cariele. I don't care about big stone buildings.
Real estate is the future. You're just not looking at it hard enough.
You see, she chuckles. Oh, trust me, I have real estate all around this region in many different domains. That is how I make money. But here in Cariele, the castle is not important to me.
Michael, what do you say?
You see, he's sort of standing at the edge here, and he looks and he says, well, to be honest, this is unfortunately more direct than what I usually see these negotiations going, and I would not presume to speak on your behalf. Obviously, if this turns into a battle, I have your side. I will make sure that she does not kill you, or at least as far as I can. And you see he looks towards her and kind of narrows his eyes as he says this. But I cannot agree on any terms with you. That is something you have to decide for yourself.
I have one condition, merely. If I'm to take this deal of yours,
Oh,
would
I'm
you hear
sure
me
this
out?
will be amusing. Please.
For the death of my brother, Ryan's must either face the guillotine or be banished from Cariele.
I think we can agree to that.
And you will take up his place there?
Oh, no, I am far too important to just be in one stead. I will have him replaced with another loyal individual.
Perhaps that loyal individual can be somebody that I place. So,
As I said, don't interfere with my business. If this Ryan has done you wrong, I will be happy to remove him just to placate you, but you don't get to have any say in guild business. You can rule the land, as I said. You can have the coins that come to you through regular means. All guild business goes through me.
Maybe we should have a moment alone to discuss.
Oh, please, take this room here. And you see she points in this direction to the southeast. And then you see she like flicks her fingers and you can hear the sound of movement nearby.
It's pretty small in here. I don't know about this.
I'm not going to go into the room. I'm just going to stand where I'm at, kind of away from her. And I guess right here is fine. I'm going to say, well, what do you think, guys? I did my best there. I told you, turning over a new leaf. If you notice how I didn't go out to stab her in the neck.
Yes, I noticed, and we're all very thankful for that. Um, this is the best deal we're going to get for now. She kind of has us in a trap. So, regardless of what happens in the future, I think we have to do what we have to do to get through this, you know?
I mean, full respect, Finn. This is This is the fastest I've ever seen someone become king.
I find in making hard decisions to imagine yourself telling her no. Not only what would be the immediate consequences, but how much harder it would be to continue your quest.
I don't like her insulting you.
Yeah, she's a bitch. And I'll step forward to here. Miele, where are Michael's soldiers? Are they safe and unharmed?
They are unharmed. Safe is a relative word. Assuming things go well here, I will make sure they are returned to Lord Michael.
You accept my condition?
Your condition was to remove Ryance, probably the only individual who had anything nice to say about you. Of course, yes, I will remove him.
Didn't like his tactics. And like I said, he killed my brother.
Fair enough. I don't really care, to be honest. He's a means to an end.
Ah, yes, a means to an end. I accept your agreement.
Excellent. Then you shall remain here while I get your uncle to come here. We will have a priest perform the ritual, transfer over Regency of Cariele to you. You will rule from the castle. You can have your friends here to speak on behalf of you, do whatever you wish. I will have one individual who will be at your use as you wish, who will represent my views on the council. And of course, you are free to take his advice or not. It is up to you. As I said, as long as you don't interfere in guild business, then I don't really care what else you do here in Cariele. So, yeah, just wait here a moment and I will get everything situated.
Can we all get horses?
She steps out, ignoring your question, Blixel, as she closes the door.
I look at Michael and I say, I told you. She's evil, down to her core.
He nods and he says, I think that much is apparent. She is quite crafty, and it seems as though she's good at what she does. Yeah, I don't like her personally. She doesn't seem to be a person of moral character, but you have to give her a little bit of respect for how she engineered all of this.
The respect was given by me not attacking. The last time we were in a situation similar to this, well, it went a different way. That decision led to the death of my brother, which, as you see, I placed on Ryance. But shifting power in a location seems like a good way of making at least a small move immediately. But I'd like to say, one of the next moves that I'll make will be coming to visit you and your father, if you'll have us.
You see he nods slowly. We would be more than happy to welcome you, but I would suggest you think long and hard on that. You're going to want to try to solidify your hold here as much as you can. Keep in mind, just because she allows you the throne doesn't mean she has to allow you to keep it. I am here now. I don't know if my presence has in any way affected her judgment, but I won't be able to stay here forever. Once I leave, she may decide to do something completely different.
I understand, Michael. I think we all do. We have a backup plan, but still, just be aware. Your assistance is going to be more appreciated, and I really do thank you.
I
And I'll
will
put my
certainly
hand out again.
speak to my father on your behalf. I think if you are able to take the throne here, an alliance between our two lands would benefit both of us. And I will certainly speak to my father on your good character and your good decision making. But as I say, it is his decision to make. And you may find the way he looks at things to be a bit different than I. But we will certainly set up correspondence where you can communicate with us fairly quickly, and hopefully he sees eye to eye on what we both hope you're able to accomplish here. And he does indeed take your hand and shake it.
I have a few plans already moving in mind, and as I finish shaking his hand, I'll put my hand on Dean's shoulder, and I'll just kind of give him a nod and kind of look him in the eye to like reassure him that our mission's not quite done.
Is a step in the right direction, my lord.
All right.
Prep
Is there
decision
anything
made.
else anybody wants to do immediately other than wait for Miele to return?
I'm gonna look at Michael and be like, Michael, just so you know, Fran was the one that gave us the location here.
You see, he nods. Yes, I've known Fran for quite some time. She is a very reputable individual. I am as surprised as you are to hear that the soldiers that are just outside are not my actual soldiers. I'm embarrassed to say that with the armor, I didn't even think to, look at them too clearly. Somehow, again, this Miele is very crafty. She has swapped my men out completely for her men. This location is one that I was invited to stay at. The owner of this estate is a lord who I know and trust. So this Miele, her reach is quite extensive. I don't think Fran has stirred you too wrong, in fact, but it is strange. I didn't realize that the communications must have been intercepted somehow.
I was just thinking she was working for this Miele person, but
He
I
shakes
just
his
thought
head and
you
he
should know.
says, I mean, anything's possible. I will certainly investigate that a bit further with my resources, but I can't imagine she would be.
Well, I'm glad you say that because I gave her a real big compliment right before we left. So there's egg on my face if she turned out to be a traitor.
He nods and he says, I would be very surprised if that were the case. She's been a friend of my father's for a long time.
Well, then, I hope we don't regret this decision.
Hey, I think congratulations are in order. And Blixel does a bow. The Count! What's up? How do you feel?
I feel like the job is not quite done, Blixel, but thank you.
Ow. I think we should all get horses, Finn. I think we should all get horses.
All
I
right, so
think
as you guys are
you'll be able
here,
to get a horse.
as you guys are here awaiting the return of Miele, we are about halfway through our session, so let's go ahead and pause here and take our 15-minute break, folks. See everybody back in 15. Welcome back, everybody, to the second half of our session. We have just had a very tense encounter between the player characters and Miele Burian in this small manor house, and let's get the group back over there. All right, so as you guys have been waiting inside the manor house, just trying to wait to see how long it's going to take for Miele to return. As a reminder, she said she was going to go get Vin's uncle as well as a priest. And you're kind of looking around at one another, realizing the sort of tense situation you are in when you hear the sound of voices first before the door opens. As the door opens, you notice Entier enter. He looks very much frazzled, and he's kind of like nervously looking around and like scratching at his neck as he sees you all. Oh, hello, hello. You see this woman clad in a white robe enters just behind, and then Miele Burian steps up, and you see she grabs Entier by the shoulder and kind of just shifts him over as she steps into the room. All right, let us get down to business then. The rest of you can stand back by Lord Michael. Vin, stay where you are.
Hello, Uncle.
And you see he kind of looks towards you, and you see he has this like very nervous expression on his face, Vin, and he just kind of keeps his eyes more towards the ground. Hello. And you see
Do you see your brother when you look at me?
And you see he actually looks over to Miele first, and she looks towards you and says, let's just get this over with. And then you see she looks towards the priestess. You see this woman clad in robes, and she says, all right, do it. And you see the priestess steps up here and has the satchel at her side. She starts taking out all of these different things. Think like a cup, a candle, all these different like ritualistic things that she lines on the ground. She lights some of these candles. She does some incense. She looks up at both of you and she says, this is going to feel very strange, especially for you, my lord, as she looks towards Entier. You are going to feel a great sense of loss, but don't fight it. Don't fight it. And you see she kind of glanced back towards Miele, and Miele just like has this stern expression on her face looking towards Entir, and then she looks over towards you and she says, you may feel a strange sensation as well. This connection will be overwhelming at first. This ritual will bind you to the land. Are you familiar with how this works? And you see Miele says, he doesn't need to be educated now. Just do it. Yes, my lady, of course, of course. Well, just stand there. And you see she takes out this like ribbon, and she actually has you both hold your hands out, and she starts doing this ribbon along your arms, and she's kind of watching you guys and doing the candles, and she goes through this pretty elaborate ritual, and eventually she actually starts casting a spell. As she does so, you can feel this immense amount of power all around this area. It actually feels as though there's like a surge of energy. You can feel almost like you get a little bit lighter. You have to look down to make sure that your feet are still on the ground. You can feel almost this very uplifting kind of spirit seems to enter this entire room. As she holds her hand out, you see she's looking towards Entir, and his head like jerks back, completely rigid as he's looking at her, and she says, do you bequeath all of the land of Cariele and everything that you own currently to this man here? And you see he looks towards Miele one more time. Yes? And you see she looks towards you. Do you accept the bequeathment of this realm?
I accept.
And you see she pulls her hand down very quickly in this rapid motion, and suddenly you feel this surge of energy seems to go through these bindings on your arm, and much like she described here, Vin, you can feel this really intense, overwhelming energy seems to flood into you. You can feel this connection as though you are suddenly bound with the land. In fact, for just a half a second, it's almost like you hear the sounds of numerous different conversations, and you get the impression that these are conversations happening all around the land. People just having regular everyday conversations, shopkeepers, some people, adventurers, talking about going into a crypt. It's there for half a second, and suddenly it is gone. But you feel this very much sense of accomplishment, as though you are much, much larger now than you have ever been. Due to now becoming the Regent of Cariele officially, your hit points increase by 10. The intention of this is that your blood protects you to try to prevent you from falling.
Cool.
You see she looks back towards Miele and steps back, and then Miele says, end here, we don't need you any longer, go on. Yes, my lady, yes, of course. Thank you for allowing me to... And she just pushes him out the door and shuts it. And you see she looks back towards you all. Okay, well, that is done. You will find that things will take a bit of time to get everything in order. I will put a word in at the castle and around that this change has occurred, but not everybody's going to know who you are right away, of course, so give it some time. But once you eventually make your way there, maybe tomorrow or the next day, like I say, give it some time, then they can get everything in order for you. Do you have any other last-minute questions? I'm in a hurry, but if there's anything important that's quick.
No, but I would like to ask the priestess here about the specifics of what happened. Since you weren't interested in the lesson, I think I would be.
You see she looks towards the priestess and says, keep it brief, and then she steps up and opens the door.
Oh, and Miele, return Michael's guards.
She doesn't respond to you as she's exiting. You notice the priestess looks up towards you and says, yes, my lord, you had questions that you wished me answer?
Could you step forward?
Of course.
What is your name?
I am Enelin.
Annalyn. Thank you.
Could
Could you tell me what just happened?
Oh, yes, I certainly can. This is the ritual known as investiture. Essentially what it does, it can be used for a variety of purposes, but in this case, it transferred the connection between the realm from your uncle to yourself. Everything that he was connected to, everything that he had drawn power from and had control over now belongs to you. Are you familiar about the bond between rulers and the land?
Up until about a month ago, I wasn't even aware that I was the true ruler of this land. So, could you kind of tell me a little bit about it?
I could, yes. I would suggest that you find people that you trust to surround yourself with, of course, but I am a priestess of the church and I will try to give you as much information as I can. But of course, you should take everything I say with a grain of salt because you may feel differently about certain things. But, well, you see, the individuals such as yourself, scions, those who have the blood of the ancient deities in their veins, they can draw a connection between themselves and the land. That is what has just happened now. Each piece of the land, the provinces themselves, any holdings you have, law holdings, temples, guilds, or sources, each of those has a bit of power associated with it, which we often refer to as regency. By inheriting this kingdom, you will inherit the regency and the treasury of this land. Regency is needed to get anything done. You can try to do things, and your chance of doing those is dependent on various factors, but by that power in your own blood, the connection you now have to the land, you can use your regency to make your odds of success much greater. In fact, you can make it guaranteed success if you're willing to spend more regency. So think of regency as the lifeblood of your domain.
I see. And you said you're a priestess of the church of which deity exactly?
I'm a priestess of the Northern Reformed Church of Cerilia.
I look over my shoulder at Celine. What's that?
I'm clicking the blind check button.
Oh my god, a bad check from Celine? I don't believe it.
Oh man.
You have heard of this deity, but I would say you're probably not super familiar. It's kind of more of a minor deity in the overall land. But with that check, some basic information that I could give you, she is considered, yeah, I'll give you her title. She's considered an intermediate goddess, the Lady of Fortune, and Goddess of Wealth.
Okay, I convey that to Vin.
Oh, that's cool. Goddess of wealth. Well, Adeline, thank you for your services today. And I'm gonna kind of whisper at this point. If you feel threatened at any point, please find us, and I'll smile.
And you see she smiles at you and she taps you on the hand like very gently and she says, I would worry more about yourself, my lord.
But I tend to put my feelings in others, as you can see with the friends I've surrounded myself with. So, like I said, find me if you need me. Thank you again.
She nods. Yes, I shall go now. Have a good day and good fortune to you all.
Yep, you too.
Holy shit, guys, that was nuts. Sorry for my language, Michael. I don't know how you feel about that, but Jesus.
Yeah. What did it feel like?
It's hard to say, but I feel weightless. At the same time, I also feel like I can feel all of the weight of the realm, if that makes sense. There was a moment where I could hear people. I could hear a group going into some crypt. I heard a conversation quickly, but just briefly. But it was like I'm not quite sure.
You
But
can
it
see
passed.
everything.
I don't know about that, but well, Michael, shall we walk together at least out of this place?
Yes, we shall. This no longer feels very safe. I'm sure you understand. Yes, let us return. Perhaps the Hog's Head is the best place we could go at this point, but I'll be making arrangements to be returning home soon.
That's understandable.
We should find your mother too.
What about the candle shop?
Oh, yes. Michael, do you mind running a quick errand with us, actually?
You see, he turns and looks at you, and he chuckles for a moment. He says, "Forgive me. I thought you were going to ask if I would like to do an errand for you. I was about to laugh, but what is your errand? I might be able to accompany you."
Well, the reason that Nexic essentially reached out is because these monsters that were down there, they were released by this man's apprentice on accident, and well, we just wanted to speak to the master himself about it. And well, you can come if you like, but it's only a couple of minutes from here.
Well, actually, I'm going to return to the Hog's Head. I need to speak with Fran. Your earlier words have me a bit concerned, and I know she will tell me true. From there, I need to reach out to some contacts and make sure I can get my men back. I'm sure not all of them were taken, but yes, unfortunately, yeah. Why don't you do that on your own and return to the Hog's Head when you're ready? As I said, I will be leaving, returning home to Moraid as soon as I can, probably within the next day or two at the most.
I don't want to, well, tell you how to run your men, as I'm sure you wouldn't want to tell me how to run mine in the future, but if Miele's got a hold of them, you can almost guarantee that she's made a few deals with a couple of them to maybe keep an eye on you, so just think about that as you go.
He nods. Yes, the thought had crossed my mind. My men are very loyal. I'm assuming that's why she replaced all of them instead of trying to bribe them. But
I
yes,
agree.
once we get them home, we will certainly take certain steps to make sure that their loyalty is intact.
I'll reach my hand out again. Well, thank you.
He
And if
shakes
you
your
wouldn't
hand.
have heard me out in the cabin, this would have never been what it is now. So
And he
thank you for your
nods.
audience.
And I hope you understand the awesome responsibility that you find yourself with all of a sudden. It's not going to be easy for you, but hopefully you are able to carve a better path forward for the land of Cariele.
Once you return, if you could check on our people from the hamlet that is in that, what was that city's name? Viance, or what did you call it?
Oh, are you referring to the city in the southern part of Cariele that they would have passed through?
The one that was in your realm. You called it Vancine? Was that right?
Oh, you are referring to Vanshin. That, again, is a town in the
Gotcha.
province of Melivienne. It's here in Cariele. It is sort of a choke point at the mountains, the Stone Crown Mountains between Cariele and Moriad. So they would have passed through that town. But, and I will as well, as I return home to Moriad. I hope that your family members have made their way all the way down to Belvedror so far, but I will find out and let you know.
If you do and you see Tegan, could you tell her thank you and maybe suggest to her that she also lay low for a little bit longer?
He nods. Yes, assuming she is unharmed when I find her, I will make sure she stays that way.
And if you hear otherwise, will you send note to me?
I shall.
Safe journeys home, my friend. And we'll probably have a beer together this evening after our errand.
You see, he smiles. I look forward to it, friend.
Michael, before you leave, is Regian anywhere nearby?
He's not around here. He had some tasks that he needed to take care of. He said he had to stop by some of the various shops and resupply, but I expect him back at the Hog's Head. I'll put word out. Do you need him for something?
Well, he's powerful with magic, right? He can do those realm spells.
He can, yes.
What are? How does that work? What spells can he do? Are they good for us? Should we do them?
Well, it's a bit more complicated than that. You see, in order to have enough power to cast a realm spell, this is just going based on my education from when I was younger, there has to be a source in a province that is strong enough to bear the weight of that magic. So, this land, for example, I don't know how strong of a source your casters would have access to, but generally each source is owned by a single person. If that source is powerful enough, then they can draw upon some very mighty magic. The one that I'm familiar with, we're seeing Region cast in before, is a spell known as Warding. It literally puts swirling mists around an entire province, and anybody outside the province that tries to enter that the caster has not specifically excluded from the spell can't actually enter. Every time they enter the mist, they find themselves exiting the mist right back where they started.
So I guess if you really mess up and you don't want to see anybody ever again, you just get Regian to come in. So he couldn't cast one for us though.
Not in your realm, because he doesn't own any sources here, to the best of my knowledge.
Okay. All right. Just figured I'd check. We're new to this. We want to figure out how to best serve the people here. So.
He nods. Yes, of course. In fact, as I said, I will speak to my father when I get home. I will suggest that he actually send a liaison here who can speak on our behalf, sort of an emissary to represent Moriad's interests, if that is something you're interested in. It should allow us to be closer connected and stay abreast of each other's problems and issues that are occurring so we don't ever find ourselves blindsided.
Indeed. Like today. What a blindside it was, but one that may actually turn fortuitous for us in the future. Thank you, Michael.
He nods. And as I leave, one thing I will say, I think you made the right decision here if I'm thinking of it holistically, but I also will say there was part of an itch of me that really looked forward to fighting her. But sometimes caution is the better decision to move forward with, and I think that's just wise.
The last time that I chose to have a fight, Michael, I lost my twin brother.
He nods.
You know?
Yes, again, fighting when you have the odds on your side or you're fighting for a just cause, it changes everything. This would have been a fight that you take knowing that the odds are stacked very much against you. And as I say, I shouldn't even probably have mentioned it at all. It was wise to what you decided.
Thank you, Michael.
You get the itch too, huh, Michael? Don't you?
I can't stand people like her, to be honest. The people who are underhanded, evil, their way of doing things, it worsens the world as a whole. And when given a chance to defeat evil, yes, I will always take it.
Yeah. Well, things always tend to work out. I'm sure her comeuppance will come eventually. And Blixel just winks.
We can hope. All right, well, I wish you all the best, and I must be off.
Do you feel safe walking back to the inn on your? Not doubting your capabilities, of course, but given what's happened, would you like us to escort you back?
No, that will be okay. In fact, I am quite safe on my own.
Ooh.
Safe travels.
Big bad Michael.
All right, he smiles at you, Celine, and makes his way out.
Chase after him, Celine.
Like a level 20 fighter or something, you know?
So speaking of being new at this, do you get like a brooch or something or a crown? I mean, how are the people to know that you are actually in charge?
Well, the word will spread, that's for sure. Intier will no longer be around for any of the important things that most people see him, and instead they'll see me and us. And, well, I don't really know if there's a crown or anything, but I know one of the first things I want to do is get Serena a cool helmet made with those antlers.
If you'd like
Go ahead,
to
sir.
add them to a crown, you're more than welcome to. But I think it's very evident by his bearing, obviously, that he is Count.
I didn't see much difference.
That was Brian hitting X to doubt.
I can't really explain what happened, guys. It was like everything all at once, is the best way I can put it.
You look a little thicker.
I feel thicker, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, do you think that circle you guys are standing on had anything to do with it too?
It seemed like she had special things that she pulled out. There was a ribbon and a cup. And, Celine, did you pick up the spell that she used? Obviously, she said it was investiture, but did you recognize it at all?
You have heard of this before, Celine, but you've never seen it done because this is very exclusive.
Yeah.
You probably know that only priests can actually perform this spell. There's no sort of wizard alternative or anything like that. But yeah, this is the first you've ever seen it. You don't know much about it.
Well, it was clearly a very impactful ceremony, so certainly beyond any of our abilities.
Are we alone? I look around.
You seem to be.
I start using magical words, and I will cast Detect Magic.
Okay, you do so.
And I will go about the rooms. Why not?
All right, so you look at the carpet here. As one of your teammates suggested, maybe there was something there. Nothing detects as magical. You make your way to that southern room. Doesn't seem to be anything magical. The only thing you see that's magical is anything that might be magical on one of your companions.
And what about silver cups, candlesticks, anything valuable around here, Adam? I mean, we just got left.
Butler's
We
Gate
just
3
got
loot
left
goblin
in.
comes back.
You don't
just
have
got
to
left in
do
a
that
manor.
anymore, Vin. You don't have to do that anymore.
I will
You're
say,
rich.
even though this is a manor house, it looks very basically furniture. So like you're noticing like barrels or some wooden chairs or some tables. You don't notice anything like high value like art or gems or anything like that. It from that perspective, it looks kind of bare.
I suspect that perhaps this is a place that she uses often, and we'll remember this in the future. But next time
Mike,
she asks us to come to a meeting, maybe we are a bit more suspicious.
I mean, Michael said it was his friends.
Either way, maybe we can have a chance to make some friends here by going and meeting this old mister.
Yeah, let's meet the citizens of the new Vin Empire.
Oh, Blixel, do you want to hear your title now?
Sure.
I dub thee. Wait, hang on. Come over here. Stand in the circle, we'll make it official.
Looks like prestidigitates sparks.
I take my short sword from my sheath, and I put it, horizontally on one shoulder, and I say, I dub thee, and I lift it over his head, Master of Ceremonies. Yeah? It's good, right?
Hey, nice. I'm throwing parties.
Anything that involves any of that kind of frivolity, you'll be in charge.
Oh, sick. Awesome. Hey, do you guys want to do that underground fight pit today?
Be a good way to get the word out.
Yeah, if it's still going on, we might as well do it before everyone knows our name. And then we could like gamble on ourselves and make a lot of money because no one will know we're good.
Let's go see the candle guy first, Blixel.
All right.
Oh, and I turn and
Master
look.
of Ceremonies.
I look towards Saline and I say, I was thinking Grand Archivist for you.
Sure. Not much fun for pomp and circumstance though, so you don't have to do the thing.
I figured
That's
not.
okay.
But I haven't figured out what to do for the rest of you, but well, thank you, friends. As I'm standing out on the lawn, I turn and look at the three of you still standing inside. Come on. We've got a lot of work to do.
Do we yell "Make room for the king" as we walk?
That's not just yet. Let's enjoy a couple more days of peace. Yeah?
All right, sounds like you guys make your way out into the city proper.
I think we're gonna go to that candle shop.
Okay, so yeah, you exit from this estate, and then you make your way through the city, looking for that shop in particular. And it takes you maybe 5 minutes or so as you're making your way through. somehow the town feels the same, but also different. You're looking around wondering, is there still like danger here for you? Or now that this deal has been struck with Miele, are you totally safe? It's hard to say. But yeah, you make your way through the city streets and eventually find this shop that you were referenced to. You can see that it is fairly basic. The outside of it just looks like a simple wooden shop, and you can see it says Old Mister's Candle Shop on it, but the emblem on the sign isn't actually a candle, it looks to be a wand.
Interesting.
And you said it's been 5 minutes, so I probably have a couple minutes on my detect magic.
Yep.
Sweet. All right. Well, the guy's name was Brayson Gibbs, by the way, everybody.
Racing. Okay. And they're gonna give us a reward or something for killing those monsters.
Didn't say outright, but why don't you do the talking, Master of Ceremonies?
All right.
10% discount on anything we buy, as long as no print.
10%. Okay. You got it. All right. Watch this. Bristol pushes his way inside.
All right,
Oh, fellow.
you make your way inside the shop, whereupon you notice an individual standing behind the counter here. Seems to be mostly focused on the countertop that he's looking at. You don't actually see anything on the countertop, but his hands are there, and it's looking like he's very much focused on it. He looks up towards you, and he says, "Oh, mister, how can I help you?"
Oh, hello. Name's Blixel. My colleague and by effect myself were sent here by your apprentice, Brayson.
Ah, yes, he has told me, but perchance you shall also tell a tale that is equivalent to the one that he spoke. Therefore, I can assure that you are the correct individuals and not some bystanders who are simply trying to get in the good graces of old Mister.
I can
Oh.
take this part, Blixel.
Yeah. Tell him what happened. Yeah, we're gonna match right up.
We were sent into the sewers by Michael of Moriad. I guess Michael Moriad, to help the rat folk with something they needed. While we were down there, we were attacked by these monsters, I guess you could say. They were fleshy creatures. Oozy, I guess, is a good adjective to use for them, and they had a psychic ability that they could telepathically communicate with us. We were able to dispatch around 8 or 10 of them, somewhere in that number, and yeah.
And to
They
clarify, is everybody in the shop right now?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, you notice old Mister
Yeah,
nods.
I'll be in the shop.
You
Doesn't
notice
always work out for me though.
You notice old Mister sort of nodding as you're saying this, but you get the impression he's kind of looking around first. And as he does so, you see he nods. Oh, okay, that is sufficient. Yes, he said that he met a pair of individuals, one who was handsome in a clean skinned kind of way, that must be you, and then a woman who had hair like fire, that must be you.
That's us, yes. The rest of our companions and I were cut off, and we had a third individual with us. It was actually the son of that rat folk. We escorted him back around and dropped him off at his father. But when we came out of the trap door, we ran right into your apprentice, who told us that it was his fault. He accidentally mixed two things and shoved them down the drain.
And you see he holds his hand up. Yes, but if we could keep that kind of quiet, you see, I
Hey.
don't want this tale spreading about anywhere. And first, allow me to say I am very grateful for the assistance you provided my befuddled assistant in cleaning up his errors. But perhaps we could keep this between us.
Well, those things tried to quote unquote consume us. So, keep that in mind. We all fought them, and I don't know why do you have stuff here that can turn into a monster that tries to consume people?
Would you like the short and sweet answer or the long, fully truthful answer?
Just give me the highlights.
I
Cliff
am
note.
a creator, and this often requires using different things, and this was an unfortunate accident.
Has this accident happened before?
This specific accident, no.
And, just by happenstance, are you aware that there's probably 1,000-pound carrion crawler beneath our feet?
I was not, no, but that is quite interesting. The carrion crawler is known to have a substance that is like mucus on its tentacles that can cause paralysis when it touches its victims. If there is such a large creature, I wonder the quantity of that substance that could be procured from taking the creature and analyzing its tentacles. That could be some very potent findings, in fact.
Yeah, I know all about that. So does the fiery-haired individual. We got smacked by him a couple times. But, I'm I'm concerned with its size. Have you maybe been dumping other experiments down that drain, mister?
You see, he kind of stands up a little bit straighter. I can assure you that if anything like that would have happened, I would know about it. You see, he's kind of trails off as you get the impression he's thinking. Nonetheless, I will assure you that I will take further steps to make sure such a thing does not happen. And of course, for your assistance and your discretion, I have a reward that I would like to give you for your help.
What is it?
Well, before I reveal it to you, I don't want this to seem like a bribe or any such thing, but you understand that an individual in my line of work has to take certain steps to make sure that things go okay and that there isn't unfortunate side effects and so forth. And, well, if the people or the guards of this town thought I were somehow dangerous, they may stop my research and studies. So I can assure you, on my honor as old Mister and proprietor of this shop, that that is not my intention, and I try to be much more careful in the future. But if you are willing to overlook this incident, as I said, I will grant you this reward, and perhaps we can make a partnership.
Listen, I promise that we will not tell the people in charge about what you did here.
Excellent. That is exactly what I was
Excellent
looking
phrasing.
for from you. As far as a reward, I think this is most fitting based on the circumstances of what you encountered down there. And you see, he pulls up this wrapped piece of something kind of longish, maybe 3 feet or 4 feet long, perhaps. And he starts unwrapping it. And as he does, he holds up this like rod that looks like it has tentacles coming out of the long side and then little tentacles coming out the bottom, as though there are tentacles actually inside of the rod.
Ugh.
Real careful with these kinds of things, Adam.
I think your rod has worms.
That's interesting. Oh, mister, what's it do?
Well, once you are attuned to the item, you can use each of the tentacles to strike a creature within 15 feet of you. It has a pretty good chance of hitting, and when it does, it deals some damage. But the cherry on top, if you might think of it that way, is if you direct all three to hit a single target, and of course you are successful in doing so, then there is a chance to inflict some maladies upon the target.
Is this one of your creations?
My enhancement, you might say. You see, it only used to be one tentacle. I sprouted to the other two.
Interesting. Well, Blixel, what do you say?
And yeah, sure, we'll take it. Just don't make any more monsters, all right?
I can't promise that, but I can promise not to create anything dangerous for the civilians of this town, as that was never my intent, and I will make sure to have a more firm hand and keen eye on my apprentice.
See
And
that you do.
in the future, if you happen to maybe need assistance gathering any kind of, I guess you could say, exotic materials, will be exceptionally easy to find. Please come and do.
Oh, I certainly shall. I shall. And where would I send for you if I needed your services?
Where does the Lord of Cariele usually stay?
You're asking him that?
Yep.
You see, he kind of like raises his eye, blinks a couple times, and looks at you. Send word to the castle's what you're saying?
Yep. That's what I'm saying, sir. And I'll grab the tentacle rod from him. This is pretty cool.
He looks at you a little bit peculiarly as he hands it over. And when I send word to the castle, who should I ask for?
I look at everybody. Should I tell them my name?
Of course.
My full name?
Of course.
I'm
That's my
Viorvin
vote.
Gladinil, Count of Cariele. Nice to meet you,
Uh,
old mister.
Excuse me, I certainly don't want to upset you, but last I knew, Entier Gladnil was Count of Cariele?
Sure. Sure. Like I said, send word to the castle. Thank you, old mister.
Okay, my lord. Yes, I shall.
Quick question for you. What kind of candles do you have here?
Ah, well, it is mostly a portmanteau. You see, that word is something that got stuck to me when one of my old adventuring companions said that he loved my candles, which of course was wands, not actual candles. Though I have some candles in stock, just because the name tends to bring people who are looking for candles.
Yeah, that's me. What kind? What kind you got?
Are you looking for simple candles, or are you looking for magical candles?
Whoa, what kind of magical candles do you have?
A whole lot of different kinds. Do you want to tell me what your issue is, and I will tell you which candle best suits you?
Uh, I like the smell of some of them.
Okay. Yes, I have some enchanted candles of various odors and smells that I could give to you. If those are not too expensive, if you're looking for something that has a little bit more pizzazz,
Wait, expensive. You heard what he said, right? He's the count.
I did hear, yes, and that's news to me, of course, but I hope you're not implying that because he's Count, he suddenly owns all of the inventory in my shop, because I can assure you that is not how the laws of Cariele are written. If it were, I would not have settled here.
Wait. There's a law. Wait, you're saying laws. The laws also say you can't make monsters and put them in the sewers, I'm pretty sure.
Actually, I don't believe there is a particular law that says that, but
Oh, there's gotta be after this,
First order
buddy.
of business.
All right. If you got a good candle for like 5 gold, I'll buy one off you, okay?
I do. What scent do you find most pleasing?
Um, let's see. How about firewood? Like a nice campfire.
Ah, yes, that's quite easily done. In fact, I will sell this to you for only a gold piece. Let's see here, and you see he starts shifting underneath the counter, and then he produces this brown candle that has these sort of like charcoal black streaks on the outside of it. Yes, here you are. Light this, it will last about an hour or so, and as you light it, you will always smell the smell of burning campfire wood all around you.
All right. Pleasure doing business with you. And Blixel just walks out, forgetting what they were talking about.
All
Do
right.
you do you happen to have any other well, I guess you could say magical items?
I do. In fact, I have a bit of an inventory at the moment. Are you looking for something in particular?
Not necessarily. We're going to come into some more coin at a later time, and well, we're just curious at this point, but we appreciate the discretionary present, and it's cool that you enhanced it. Could you maybe show us something else that you've done like that?
Oh, well, the new stock that came in, I haven't had a chance to get my mitts on exactly quite yet. Other tasks and responsibilities, you see. I have some unaltered items. If there's particular items of alteration that you need, we could, of course, talk. But at the moment, let's see, what do I have? I have a rather rod for sale. I have some magical darts. I have a magical sling. I have potions, greater healing or regular healing. And then I have this peculiar item that just came into my collection. It's some writings on paper. I must say I haven't fully even investigated this one yet, but it is quite pricey, so I can't imagine you'd be interested in dropping that amount of coin.
That's enticing, to be honest. Um, is it like arcane? Is it spells and
Yes,
such?
yes. I just had a moment to look at it. It's like a spell book, you see. It has some spells in it, and it has some extra properties.
Hmm, interesting. Just so we know the price, because like I said, we're coming into some coin later. Drop it for me, boss man.
If you were to want to purchase this right now, it would have to go on the high end and say 50,000 gold.
Oh, wow. Phew. That must be pretty badass.
From what I understand of it, yes, I suppose that descriptor would be apt.
Well, mister, that's pretty cool. Like I said, though, we'll keep everything between us. And honestly, I know it's a bit of a bomb to drop on you, but yeah, you'll find me at the castle. My name is Vin, and if you need someone to help gather some materials, please come and find us. And that carrion crawler, please do not go after it by yourself. Trust me, it is the
I
biggest
have
one.
no intention of doing so. My adventuring days are long behind me.
It is incredibly massive.
Well,
1,000 plus pounds, maybe?
that
Oh,
sounds
more
like a
than that.
problem for the leaders of the city to deal with, don't you think?
I smile and say, yes, and if the leaders of the city decide to deal with it, well, I can promise you'll have a good amount of vials of crawler mucus, or whatever you like to call it, for your studies. But we should get going. Thanks, old mister. And tell Brayson, um, well, tell him thanks. If it wasn't for him, well, fucking up, we wouldn't have gotten to meet you.
I shall let him know your sentiments. And yes, it was good to meet you as well. Have yourself a wonderful day.
So before we leave, I wanted to ask him, does he have any quarterstaffs?
Yes, in fact, I do
Oh,
have a
thanks.
quarterstaff. I have two. I have just a basic magical quarterstaff that's a little bit more effective. Then I also have another quarterstaff. This would be a bit pricier, though. It's called a dual quarterstaff. Have you heard of this before?
I have not.
Well, in layman's terms, you see, when you strike with it, it conjures a phantom version duplicate and strikes at the same time.
Oh, that is nice. I'm really interested in that one.
Yes, and as you can imagine, the price is, well, it is also really nice in that regard. But how much coin are you working with, friend?
I put down my
Little-
coin purse down, and there's 13 gold pieces in the bag.
Will that cover it?
You see he, lifts your coin purse up and looks back at you. You're a little light, I'm afraid, for either of the selections.
Does
Oh.
he charge for him just to touch it?
No.
Only
Oh.
Blitzel does that. Okay.
Oh, this isn't enough. You need like 2 of these bags.
Well, based on the weight of this, it feels like there is maybe 15, 20, something like that in here. You would need, for the regular one, you would need 300 coins. That is for a quarterstaff that is magically enhanced. And if you wish to have the other one, you're looking more in the realm of 10,000 coins.
10,000 coins. No, I don't want to buy all of the quarterstaffs. I was just asking about one.
Yes, the baseline one, the first one, the magically enhanced one would be 300.
Oh, okay. And I'll pick up my coin purse and say, well, I got some adventuring to do then. Thank you.
He nods. I look forward to seeing you back here when you've acquired more currency.
Taxes are about to go up.
All right. Is there anything else anybody would like to do in the shop, or is everybody exiting?
I think we can go. Any objections?
Nope. Good
Nope.
go.
Okay, so you guys return out to the town proper. Where is it you guys would like to go?
Well, we're going to the Hogshead, right? Unless we want to do more PHP shopping.
Should
you want
we?
to check out your new digs?
Should
You want
we
to check out the new
kill?
castle?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Well,
Will they let us in though? Is this like official now?
I don't know.
I feel like Mealy said give it a day or two.
she did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Should we
let's
try to
join
kill
Michael
the
before he
carrion
leaves.
crawler? Okay. Yeah.
Dude, I don't. Out of character, bro. Look, I've used a carrion crawler in a fight before. Their HP is, not it's not crazy, but that thing is fucking huge, bro. It had 8 attacks, man,
On a recharge.
and
He
15
made
foot
someone roll
reach,
for it.
and a 15-foot reach, and its speed was like 120 feet, dude.
That's a big boy.
I mean, we would have to come up with a great plan. But I mean, I don't think it's impossible. But I mean, dude.
All right. Fair enough.
I mean, I was looking at it. You guys did about. I think you got a pretty good hit off, but it looked like you took off about 20% of its HP, maybe. So, with 6
Yeah,
of us,
but
with proper positioning.
in one move of its turn, it knocked Serena and me almost completely down. Right? It paralyzed her. I mean, it was just
Paralyzed
that,
you too.
yeah, it was brutal. I mean,
I
so
th-
I mean,
I'm
I
not eager
Just
to
don't
meet it
clump up.
again.
out of character. I think we could take it with like good tactics and stuff like that, but I don't necessarily think it's a good idea.
I agree with Noah's assessment.
I think, yeah. I mean, I think maybe if we had like 2 more levels on us, we could take it out of character, of course. But it's definitely something that we can return to, and beat the fuck up.
Yeah. Let's hope it doesn't get fatter.
Come to the surface looking for.
The
That'll
poor
force
rat.
the
The
issue.
poor rat folk. You know.
Yeah.
We gotta help them out.
But I mean, I don't need any more shopping. I would be interested to know what Fran and Michael talked about and like how that situation went, though.
Yeah, let's meet back up with them.
All right, you guys make your way through town, heading back over to the Hog's Head Bar. As you find yourself back in the Hog's Head Bar, you can see there's quite a bit of activity. You notice there is a lot of men sitting around the center area. They all look like they're dressed in what you assume to be like long johns. And they're kind of all have this like bit of surprised look on their faces, each one of them kind of talking and then clasping each other on the shoulder and just like shaking their heads, and you see them speaking. At the end of this table, so the farthest away from that center table, you notice Lord Michael is standing there, and he's just kind of eyeing these gentlemen at the center. And you see he's got this flagon by his side, and he picks it up and drinks at it for every couple of moments, and then he's just kind of seemingly watching.
And he's not wearing long johns.
He is not. He is dressed just like you saw him previously.
Oh, I didn't get the memo on the sleepover, huh? All right. Let's try to avoid these guys. They look like they're rowdy.
All right, as you guys sort of circle around this center table, heading towards Lord Michael, I assume?
Yeah, trying not to provoke the frat boys and long johns.
All right, yeah, they don't seem to reach out or say anything to you. They almost look like they're in a state of shock, perhaps. But as you get to the back end, you notice Lord Michael standing there, and he nods his head. Oh, it's good to see you again. Welcome, welcome. I did have a chance to speak with Fran, and yep, it's as I suspected. It seems as though the communications were indeed intercepted and altered. It's very strange. As I said, you'll have to keep your heads very much on a swivel while you're here. This woman has her hands and her ears everywhere.
Well, shall we clear this place out? Have it just for ourselves?
No, this is fine. The gentleman there in the center, those are my men that she did eventually release, but not before she took all of their equipment, their armor, their swords, everything upon them, and let them walk in just like that. I'm sure she's trying to send a message, and I think I would like to send her one back once I return home.
I smile and I reach my hand up and say, "Keep. Can we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 glasses?"
And some hot water, please.
And you notice this person that's kind of running back and forth looks over and nods and starts prepping that. And you see Lord Michael just kind of like points to them and then points at himself. And that person nods again. And shortly later, brings over the 7 glasses and has this like tea kettle on a platter as well. 7 glasses and some hot water. There you are.
And I'll crack open that whiskey bottle I bought earlier and give everybody a shot. Push them around the table. All right, Michael. What are we cheersing to?
Oof. Well, as the new Lord of Cariele, perhaps you should pick what we are cheering to.
Well, I think our normal motto will fit into play here. I raise my glass and I look at everybody and smile and say, "We didn't die."
Hey, there you go.
Lord Michael will raise a glass as well, and he smiles and says, "You didn't die." He drinks.
Russell drinks it down and then looks around for assassins.
You don't see any, just glancing around.
They'd be bad assassins if we did.
Is that ceremony they did, the investiture? Is that how it always goes? Like when your father moves on and relinquishes power to you, maybe one day will you have to go through something similar?
He has told me some of the details. From what I understand, as part of being a ruler, you can designate through this ritual an heir, and should you fall, the magic of the ritual automatically passes things to the next person, to the heir. So my understanding is no, he won't have to do that when he passes. I will automatically inherit everything, much like you did.
I see. So when I did it today, it didn't give me like a option to pick my heir. Do you think maybe, well, someone else has a trick up their sleeve?
In this land, anything is possible, but I suspect it simply requires you to be involved in another casting of that spell for that purpose. My understanding is that spell can be used for many different purposes, and those are just two of them.
Shit. I just realized I probably gotta have some kids soon. You a dad, Michael?
I am not. No, as you recall, I was here potentially meeting a marriage partner, but it did not work out.
Got your eye on a lady back home?
And you see he looks down at the whiskey glass. No, in fact, a woman that I would be looking for would be a very unique individual, and I haven't found her anywhere. But there is somebody you have in mind, somebody, a flame from the past, you might say, and I hope to track her down, but so far I have not been successful.
Blixel over there has a story for you about how he met the love of his life.
Yeah, well, relax. Love of my life. Not true. But I met a sweet lady named Garnica
In a cave.
in a cave. And I won't bore you with the details, but I've been there, man, and I know what it's like to not be able to find the one, and it'll happen for you. Don't worry, Michael. You're a good guy.
You see he nods. It kind of already did, and I wish I could find that one again, but sometimes fate doesn't allow such things.
Oh, can we help you in any way with that?
Yeah, tell us about her. We'll keep an eye out.
Well, how much to tell? How can I say about this individual? Well, you remember when we were traveling, I asked you about some stories, right? About, well, why don't we go into the back room?
Oh,
Sure.
okay.
Sounds good. Back room conversation. And I elbow Tavard.
All right, and I assume you guys make your way to the back room, and you see Michael like nods at your bottle of whiskey, and he holds his glass out, like looking for another shot.
Yeah, here.
He
I've
needs
got
it
two.
to tell this one.
All right, as you pour him another shot, you see he looks at the glass and like he's getting ready to really get into the story. But as we are at the end of our session time, that is where we will go ahead and pause. So we will pick up next week with this story. And then as far as you guys' intentions, yes, you already mentioned how Miele said it would take a day or two before the word got out. And basically they would be sort of expecting you at the castle. What is it that you guys would like to do next session?
Go get Stinky.
To bring him
mean, if
in
we're-
town, or?
Well, I mean, if we're big boss baddies now, then no one can really tell us no.
Yeah, you
Right.
could be a good bodyguard.
Okay, so we got try to find Stinky and bring him inside. I heard Blixel mentioning doing the underground thing. Is that something you guys wanting to pursue?
I think that would be fun, but
I'm down for that. That sounds cool. What was the other thing? That guy, that Lord said something about gaming?
Yes, he said it was a special kind of hunt if you're interested.
One or the other guys, do you want to do an underground fighting pit, or do you want to go on special hunt?
We should also. We just got a magical item. We need to identify it or something. Maybe in the off time as well. Maybe Celine could do that. I don't know.
I want to locate your mom.
Okay,
Yeah, that is a good point.
I've got 4 different things then. So we've got potentially do the underground tournament, potentially do the hunt that was described by the Lord, get the magic item identified, and then look for Vin's mother here in town. Anything else anybody has in mind?
I'm gonna post something this week, Adam, in the group chat, based on what I discussed before, but it's not really a group thing. It's just kind of to the side.
Okay, yep, sounds good. All right, well, I think that's good enough then. So those are the things I'll be expecting you guys are pursuing next week. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this session. It was a very tense moment. You never know how those are going to go. So it was interesting to see how you guys decided. And yeah, we will pick up again next week and continue the adventures there. Have a great night, everybody.
Good night, guys.
Good night, guys.
Folks, have a good one.